Morning, you. Oh,
Hey,
evening, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to the show. I am the Northern
yeah,
English bastard, and I am here with Lord of Toxicity. And right now, we're discussing Michael Mann's fucking classic crime thriller, Collateral. One of the best fucking movies of the 2000s, and one of Tom Cruise's best fucking performances, in my opinion.
fucking
You
A it
agree?
is. Your opinion is 100% spot on, my friend.
Yeah, because whenever I see Tom Cruise, it's like, yeah, I see Tom Cruise. I don't always see the character.
Hmm.
This I saw the fucking character. I did not see an
Yes,
actor playing a part. I actually saw
yes,
this fucking psychotic killer, and I love
I
it.
like that. I like that. Yeah,
Yep,
no, this is I could not possibly agree with you more. I'll go so far as to say I think it's his best performance. I think it's the best thing he's ever done.
yep. And he's done some good stuff since, but apart from maybe fucking Tropic Thunder, this will always be my favorite performance of his. I mean, it's like 20 years now since this film came out, and my opinion has not changed on that matter ever since.
Yeah, exactly 20 years since it came out, as
I
a matter
know.
of fact.
I know,
So
and yeah, Buenos Dias, Jamalama. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I hope you have a good time listening to us discuss this movie. And it's not just like some action thriller as well. I mean, it's very character driven and very layered as well. Because you've got
yes,
really these two very troubled people. I mean, one's just a normal guy, but he's kind of fucking playing it safe all the time, and he's keeping
hmm
his head down, but he's also kind
hmm
of repressed. And then you get this other guy who's really removed from everyone else. He has no fucking sense of, he has no empathy, and
yeah,
he lives for fucking doing bad deeds, and he
mm,
just sees it as a job as well. He doesn't really seem
yeah.
to have a moral compass.
Almost flip sides of the same coin, even in a way. I mean, they're both professionals. They're both almost the best it is at what they do. They both operate out of LA. They're not very much fans of LA, but they know it well. And yeah, they're both precise. They're both consistent. They both adhere to a certain rigid set of standards in their chosen profession. And yeah, they kind of complement each other. So
Yeah,
I like
yeah,
it.
because Jamie Foxx he seems to know all the best shortcuts of everything, and he seems to have it's like every location is honed into his head. It's like a human sat nav now.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Back in the days when that wasn't as practical as it is now. I mean, they had
Mm.
technology and stuff 20 years ago, certainly. But I mean, if you had to be really, really good at that, you couldn't just pop on your iPhone and have Google Maps or Quest or whatever find the location for you. You had to really know the turf, and that's what he does. And Tom Cruise, he twigs that right away. He's like, okay, I see what this guy's all about. You know what? I think this is the guy that's going to get me to my targets tonight.
Yeah, he's very good at reading people as well. Because I mean, I looked up a little bit on the trivia on the part when he first accosts Jamie Foxx's character Max. He acts like a bit of an asshole, but it's mostly just to see if he's going to be a taxi driver that's not going to be aggressive towards him and actually
Mm.
be
Okay.
professional.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, because he's got a job, he's got all these targets. The last thing he needs is a fucking taxi driver or a complete dick giving him a hard time
Right.
with
Or
telling.
wanting to be a hero or whatever.
Yeah,
He needs someone that's gonna be good at
yeah,
what they do, but kind of submit himself to him a bit. Yeah.
yeah, because there's plenty of people who will see what's happening is wrong, but won't do anything about it because they're scared. They're scared of getting hurt, and it's understandable. It's not a nice thing to admit in general, but yeah, a lot of people are very sadly like that.
Yeah. This has been a long time coming for us, huh? We had this talk about a year ago.
You know, I mean, I
On
did a review of
Enzo's.
it. I know because I did a
Yeah,
review of
you
it a
did
year
a
ago.
really good one, a really really good one too,
I
by the
know.
way.
And I might
And
redo it as well. I might
yeah,
because and actually get put clips on it, really give the presentation it needs. But
yeah,
I'll get around to it. I want to get my MCU videos done first, and maybe a few
yeah, fair,
early
yeah,
Halloween
fair.
ones and that. But yeah,
Well, maybe if you can get it done sometime this year, you're still within the 20 years thing. But as far as me and YouTube, and I think this was early on, we had a Stupenzo's Tom Cruise stream, and this got brought up, and uh, I think you clipped or at least time stamped the conversation I
yeah,
had about some of the
the
shootings and
Mozambique
stuff,
technique.
the Mozambique, which we'll get to, but and then you used it in your video, which thank you, I appreciate that. That's the highest praise I could get. But yeah, and we've done other stuff. We've done Heat. We talked about Heat here on your channel. And I think it's this has come up a lot. So we've been kind of dancing around this for a while. So I'm excited. I'm pumped.
I know. I think it might be the last really good thing Michael Mann's done. The last great thing he did. He's done
Did
other
you not
stuff.
like? You didn't like Miami Vice then? You didn't like it?
Not the movie. I tried to watch an hour, but
Okay.
I was really bored. And I love the show. The show is great.
Okay. All right.
I just didn't think they captured the same charisma as Don Johnson and
Sure.
yeah, what's his name? Michael Philip Thomas did. They had a bit of charm, but the
Yeah.
too stoic. Colin Farrell
Mm.
and Jamie Foxx are too stoic in that movie.
Yeah. The 80s were a vibe in and of itself. So trying to
I know.
recreate that in the 2000s is not. Yeah, it's not going to come off well. There's things I liked about it. I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It doesn't have a good amount of rewatchability, excuse me, but it's enjoyable to me. It's nowhere near in this league for sure.
Yeah, if it was just another crime buddy movie, it probably would have worked a lot
Mm.
more. Because I mean, even the original Miami Vice show, that was like fucking dark as well, even despite all the bright
It
pastel
was,
colours and that.
yeah. I don't
Yeah,
want to go off on a tangent. I'll just say really quickly that had a big effect on me. I'm from West Palm Beach, which is just north of Miami. So I grew up down there, and we watched it every Friday night when it came on. Back when Friday you could actually, I think they had like a Friday night rewatch, and I think it came on another night, maybe Sunday or something. I don't know. Hey, Nix.
how you
But
doing, man?
I remember being young, maybe 8 or 9, and there's a episode in the second or third season after Crockett's baby mama gets killed while she's pregnant, and so he tracks the guy down to another country and blows him away. And I'd never seen anything like that before. I'd never seen the hero just straight up murder a guy.
Yeah,
Um,
I think it was in season Fox. It was a what wasn't it? It was a singer that played the wife.
Sheena Easton.
That's yeah, yeah. A lot of people didn't
Yeah,
like her character though. I've been seeing a lot of hate on her on IMDb.
really. No, I don't know. I
Yeah,
don't know. I don't know much about her. I knew some of her songs in the '80s, but I don't know much about her.
no, I think it was the character. That's it.
I
But
keep
yeah,
meaning to do a
it was a
rewatch
yeah.
on Miami Vice, but I've never get around to it.
Yeah, but it was sort of like hinting because we've seen hints that they are becoming more disillusioned with the job because it's like no matter how many times they try to do the right thing, they just keep getting fucked over by the system.
Yeah.
And
But yeah,
because
no, I would say this is probably the peak of Michael Mann's career here. You could,
yeah,
I mean,
Collateral.
you can do the whole Heat Collateral debate. It would have been cool if they came out a little closer to each other, instead of almost 10 years apart. But I'll if you put a gun to my head, no pun intended, I would say Collateral, just because I mean that whole trope of one last job is I think the premise for this movie's really original. I like it a lot, and especially the utilizing somebody that's true blue all American pie, you know uh religious weirdoisms notwithstanding, but Tom Cruise as this villain who, like you said, is just he's almost unrecognizable. He just embodies
No,
that part. I don't think I'd be hard pressed to think if that's ever been done before or since.
yeah.
So
I like the fact he's all in grey as well. Like he's proper
yeah,
grey. Like there's no colour in him. It shows how very removed he is from everyone else. And he's
yeah.
like,
I always thought of it as like that's his tradecraft, where it's like
yeah,
he's blending into
yeah.
he's
It makes
just
him
another gray
mundane as
haired
well.
businessman. Yeah, like that's it's like, hey, he could equally be somebody that enjoys jazz at a club after a hard day on Wall Street or whatever, and trading or selling houses, or he could easily be a process server that sneaks into a lawyer's house. He could be a parole officer that's showing up on a registered sex offender or drug dealer's house. He could be any of those things and all of those things when he's none of those things.
Yeah, and there is a real mystery to him as well because you don't know if if he genuinely means half the things he says or if he's just saying it to sort of like manipulate, like like when he takes Jamie Foxx to see his mum and gets the flowers, and Jamie Foxx is like, she's not gonna like that, and he looks at him and goes, "She carried you in a room for 9 months," and like, yeah, no, is he kind of
Yeah.
projecting some kind of mother issues he had from a kid that
Uh-huh.
something like maybe he did lose his mother that we loved very much, and
Yeah.
he's kind of pissed off Jamie Foxx is taking it for granted, or is he
I
just
don't
trying to?
know.
I know.
That's a good question, and I've never given that aspect much thought. I do know that when you do a thing like shooting people for money, um, after a while you have to kind of figure something out. You have to, who am I? Who is this person that's taking people's lives for uh, exorbitant amounts of cash? Like at the end of the day, you have to figure out something. Is it something that I do because I love, or do I love it because I do it? Am I good at it because I love it, or the more I love it, the more, the better I get at it? What is it about me that makes me this? And I think when he gets broken apart later, and I will speak on it when it comes to the scene, I think Max kind of really hurts him when he disassembles him in that way, saying, I think you're disconnected from reality. I think you're not even a real person anymore.
Yeah,
So
I know because this is like it's kind of like a big moment where Max is he's been through a lot already, and he's like, "Fuck all this bullshit now."
yeah,
I'm not gonna keep my head down and keep quiet. I'm actually gonna call it as it is. I don't give a fuck if it
yeah,
causes me harm and that, because
yeah.
it's a great scene. And I kind of came to this little theory as well that Vincent could be Macaulay's brother, because if you watch Heat,
Mm.
Macaulay talks about his father. His mother died when he was. I think he said his mother died when he was young. His father, he doesn't know where he is, so he doesn't know if his father is
Got a
alive. Like,
brother, out there
I know.
somewhere. I like it. I like that.
I like
That
that
is,
theory as well. I
yeah,
really
man.
do.
You know what? I'm gonna start making that canon. I like it so much. I think that's what
Michael
we're
Mann,
making
make
that
it
canon.
canon.
Michael Mann. Let's. Unfortunately, they're both dead. So spoiler alert. So I don't know. Maybe a prequel movie or something like that. But yeah, no.
Yeah.
I like
Or
it.
maybe
I
not.
like
Might
it.
rob the mystery a little bit. Who knows?
Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah. Glad you're enjoying the potato stream, Nix. I really am.
Nice. Sounds good today, Nix. Dial
I
it
know.
back.
No
See,
idea where the echo is coming on. It happened twice. One on my Batman Mask of the Phantasm,
yeah,
second time on the Shogun stream. I don't know what's
yeah.
happening. So yeah, it might just been a fault in the stream, or maybe there
Well,
was a
don't
couple more
worry.
tabs.
You and Blue Collar were still the best thing on those Shogun streams. So don't
Yeah.
worry about it.
So yeah, we're gonna get down to the film now, because I think because that's what everyone's here for, to talk about a
Oh, for
fucking
sure,
awesome movie.
for
It
sure.
really is. Right, let's get the slides on.
All
Where
right. I'll go ahead and hit play on my trusty iTunes version copy of this. One of the first movies I bought while I was in Iraq.
yeah, it must have been somewhat fucking good to contrast the environment,
Yeah,
Film about a killer, and you're in an environment where you have to kill people. So
yeah. Well, where I got paid to kill people anyway.
yeah, perfect. All you needed was a nice fucking single malt to complement the situation.
Yeah, no booze over there, unfortunately, but yeah.
Yeah, you gotta keep your fucking wits about you, don't you, until the day of killing is done.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and it
DreamWorks
starts off.
picture. I always get nostalgic when I see the DreamWorks pop up for Medal of Honor.
Yeah, no. But yeah, I love this. It's just nice and cool, little slow motion, and you can tell Michael Mann's switched to this digital photography, which
Yeah, yeah.
doesn't look good in light because it makes the picture look a bit more grainy.
So I've heard a
But
theory that the Transporter universe and the Collateral universe are in the same universe. What's your thoughts on that?
I've
That
heard of
this,
that as well, and
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I like that theory, because
you don't like
the
that?
transport, yeah, because the transport is so kind of out there, and well, Collateral is very realistic, isn't it? It's sort of more grounded in reality, while the transport is a little bit more mindless action. And I always find that weird when those two tones kind of collide together. But
Yeah.
it probably is. It's I think it actually is a little universe colliding together. But
All right.
I don't like to think of it as that. I like to just think
Sure.
of him as just a random guy who's just dropping off some packages for him so he can do his job.
Well, yeah, he's a he's a bag man. So
Yeah,
he obviously can't fly with his stuff. So he's basically he's just a bag man. He gives him his directions, and then whatever weapons and equipment he said he might need for the to do the job. So
yeah. last episode is coming up for the Shogun. Yes, Jamalama. I'll look forward to that. I'm listening to the book on the audio book on YouTube now. And,
Oh, how are you liking that?
I'm liking it. It's I think it's like fucking 5 or 10 chapters in, and he hadn't met Taranagi yet. But I'm just at the bit where he's telling him about the Portuguese doing deals. So,
okay,
yeah, taking about time. I'm also reading Drinker's book as well, and that's coming along pretty well. I'm actually liking it, to be honest.
His first or his newest?
His first one.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of goes back pretty quick, but yeah. So he picks the bags, obviously, and yeah, Statham's like, enjoy LA in his West American accent. Yeah, he got American accents, but it's a joy to watch him doing American accent.
Enjoy LA.
Yeah. I'm Jason Statham. I'm the American, not Cockney, all right? And then we come to Max now, and we see him. He's obviously just an ordinary guy. He's not exactly well dressed. He's kind of got these frumpy, baggy clothes.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's changed them properly or ironed them because he's been probably so busy working.
Oh no, he for sure slept in those clothes the night before, for sure.
Yeah, he's been working overtime, probably way too much. So
but the lack of putting stuff into himself is highly contrasted with what he does. You see, the first thing he does is he does what's called PMCS, preventive maintenance and checks system, which is to make sure everything on the vehicle is switched on and correct. Nothing's broken, nothing's damaged, nothing's inoperational. Then he goes to the interior of the car and he starts cleaning out the car and making sure it's suitable for his guests and making sure that it's clean and comfortable for all the people that he's going to give rides to and spend the next 8 to 10 hours in. Whereas you see the other cabbies are just kind of hanging out, shooting the shit, pulling their pud and stuff like that. He's a professional.
Yeah, and it's kind of like something that serves him in the job, but at the same time doesn't serve him in life because Willen's got ambitions and it has to be perfect, and he's not fucking he's not even actually taking any initiative to give it a go because it has to be perfect, and that's an attitude most people adopt. And it's like when you write a novel, it has to be perfect, but you're taking way too much time.
You bastard! You bastard! Yeah. Why you gotta go there? Why you gotta go there? Why you gotta go
that's
there?
Like people who become way too perfectionists about.
I know that's pointed at me. Yes,
that's not you. That's not you.
It is. No, it is.
I'm talking more about myself because I've actually tried writing, and I end up picking apart what I'm writing. I'm like, oh yeah, that shit. I need to rewrite that, and I never get around to it, and then I end up not doing it.
Oh,
and yeah. So I've done that. I've tried writing a few short stories, and I end up fucking going back to the drawing board because of it. So yeah, this is like him, and he's obviously never going to get that fucking limo job he wants because he's not taking the time to stop and think that he needs to do this now, not at the right time. He's got to take that moment straight away.
What is he? He's a cab driver for what? 8 years? 12 years? What?
Yeah, and it's looking like if he doesn't take some initiative, he's going to be doing it for a long time. He's got to get out of his fucking perfectionist mindset. And yeah, and obviously he's just trying to get on with the job. He's got to put up with these two customers fucking arguing over some bullshit.
Yeah,
and he's got his little island paradise as well to sort of like keep him tranquil while he does his job.
Man, I bet that's a hard ass job to be a cab driver, Uber driver, whatever, in a place like New York, LA. I bet that's really difficult. I mean, it's easy as pie out here because I live in a small college town, but I got mad respect for people who do that job, especially blue collar, doing that job completely intoxicated and half asleep all the time. I mean, kudos to those guys, man. That's a difficult situation. Just driving normally is a pain in the ass, but to have to drive customers in these big cities, man, damn, dude.
Yeah, no, fucking up. I'm still learning to drive at the moment, just trying to sort of like. Because I did go on the main road properly, but I was forgetting a little few things like fucking signalling and shit like that. But I'll get it. I'll get it as long as I keep doing it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and here he comes. He picks up Jada Pinkett, the whore, coming back from sucking her boyfriend.
She's actually, she's coming back from banging. She just got done banging some young hip hop star. She's actually good in this. This is back when she was still a decent human being, or at least We
I
didn't know.
know.
Well, we didn't know that she was the
I
piece of
know we
shit
didn't
that she
know that
is.
because I fucking like I used to find her fucking hot back in the day. I mean, Nutty Professor and
Yeah.
Menace to Society and that.
Oh
She was
yeah.
great.
Jason's
She was hot.
lyric set it off. Oh yeah, for sure. Big time. I was team back in the early 90s. I was team Jada all the way.
Yeah. Plus, it shows what a good actress she is because she actually comes across as a fucking human being here. So
I thought she kind of at first comes across kind of as a Karen. She gets in his cab. He knows the destination, and she's
yeah,
giving him go across to La Brea, jump over here to the I-5, do the. I'm like, bitch, I'm driving. Like I got
I
this.
know.
Like stop with your bullshit.
Yeah, and he sort of like he sort of backs down a little bit and says, "All right, I'll take that." And but even though they do have that little kind of
Tete-a-tete.
conflict, they do end up warming up to each other, and he
Yeah.
does kind of show he's got a little bit of charm, even though he doesn't without
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
knowing
Yeah.
he has.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, he's got some riz on him for sure.
yeah.
Absolutely.
And they actually do have a bit of chemistry together, even though it's just a small little scene. And
Well, Jamie Foxx is a very charismatic guy.
he is.
He started off playing trumpet and doing a bunch of music, and then he got into improv and stuff like that. It's really interesting to me to see guys like him dial it down and play a subdued character the way that he does in this film. I'm really
I
impressed
know,
by it.
because yeah, I mean, fucking hell, you watch him in his interviews. He's very fucking charming. He's got
Yeah.
he looks he comes across as a guy who's got some game,
Oh, for
and
sure.
it shows what a good actor he is here. Because yeah, he's just playing a guy who isn't very charismatic. He's just kind of this bored guy getting on with
Sure.
life, and that's it. He's just very
Yeah.
humble.
Yeah. They just even though they're both different socioeconomic and backgrounds, they click, they vibe. I
I
don't
know.
believe even for half of a second that a modern day, maybe 20 years ago, but a modern day woman would never even fucking look in his direction, being a cab driver and her being a district attorney or something like that.
Yeah,
So
I
that would
know.
never happen. But in the context of this, maybe he charms her up a little bit and she decides to go slumming for a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I mean, it always starts off somewhat simple, like the music that they're listening to, and he ends up making that line. Is like he knows she's a lawyer, and she's asking, "How do you know?" He's like, "Well, if someone gets into my cab with a katana sword, I assume he's a sushi chef." And yeah, it's a funny
Yeah.
little line, and it makes her
Yeah.
laugh. Yeah, lowers her defenses a little bit, and
You kind of headcanon that was like maybe a joke that another cabbie had taught him, or another maybe even
oh
another
yeah,
passenger, and he just was saving it up and decided to use it because he's kind of quiet and subdued with the other people, but with her, there's some kind of a connection, and he's kind of vibing with her.
I know, and I like it, and this becomes like a little moment where it doesn't seem like such a big deal, but it turns out to be very important later. Like she is a prosecutor for a case. She never tells what
Yes.
the case is, but she mostly just goes into how the job affects her. Like
Yeah.
she's trying to get everything together, and she thinks it's all going to fall apart. But whenever it does, she gets back on a game, and she ends up killing it. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I like that. I like that little attitude as well because
Yeah.
sometimes when I do my own stuff, I always think, "Oh, this is fucking shit," and
Sure.
I think I'm going to do a shit job. But I always get back on it, and I think it at least half decent anyway if I can.
Yeah. No, I always know everything I do is excellent. So I have enough human emotions or human bit parts where I can understand that in other people. But yeah, it's I've
Yeah,
heard it said,
little
people
bit
are like,
parts, you understand. Like that.
when I was showing this movie around, I was still in the army and I was showing this movie around to people. I was like, man, you got to watch this. It's so fucking good. And people get bored. They go out to smoke or they'd fucking get up to get another drink during this. They're like, and I've even heard people go so far as to say this whole scene is pointless. It's stupid. It's a waste of time. It's filler. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not though, because otherwise you don't give a shit about any of the stuff that happens in the third act.
I
You know what I
know.
mean? Because if
And
she
then
was just another rando that got in the car and they didn't have a connection, then at the end, at the big reveal, he's not going to go do all the stuff he did to go try to save her. It's because of this that we have the third act.
yeah, because
You
we've
know?
learned to sort of sympathise within a matter of minutes during this scene.
Yeah.
I know, and yeah, like you said, yeah, because if she was just a random prosecutor, we'd be wondering, okay, why is he fucking saving her? But no, they've gotten to know each other, so. And yeah, it does seem very insignificant at first until you watch the whole film and it gets to the end. And I do
Right.
like this moment where he gives her the picture, something that's always kept him focused on the job, even on his worst days, and he's willing to let her have whatever tranquility he gets, just so he can help her get through her job, because he
Yeah.
knows how important her job is to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like how he's kind of kicking himself after she walks out. He's like, damn, I should have asked her out. Fuck,
Yeah.
man, I'm a fucking pussy. But she comes back and she gives him a number as well. She plays it off like it's something casual in case you need a good lawyer or something. But no,
Yeah.
she wants to fucking bang him. She does.
Yeah, but she does well, one, guys, if they come back, if they look over their shoulder, if they come back, if they re-engage, they're interested. And also, even if it's fake hair, because obviously, she's a black woman, that's a fake, that's a wig. Even if it's fake hair, when they tuck it behind their ear like that, they're interested. So just a little game for you guys. That's not for you because you're dead because you're married, but for other people who actually are still pursuing chicks, like that's it, man. She's giving you an opening. Go for it.
Yeah, I'm dead. Fucking hell. My play-by days are over. Not that I had any
Mm.
anyway. Uh, yeah, Les Grossman is a universal hero. He is fucking hell. I love that character. And it's obviously that Tom Cruise has been in the building. But we don't know if he already has done. We're wondering what he was in there for, because he's been sneaking around, hasn't he? He's been.
He has indeed. What was he doing in that building, I wonder?
I know. And right now that's where him and Max meet. And like I said earlier, he's testing him to see if he, like you said, if he's submissive. And thankfully, he comes across that way. And yeah, he just says, "Okay, I'm going to take this cab." And once again, they have a little bit of talk. And I love how Michael Mann just shoots this fucking city. It's almost
Yeah.
euphoric, even though it's like a crime-ridden shithole. But I also like the fact that even though this is a really big city with an enormous population, seeing these two in the cabs, so they come across more isolated from everyone else.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Michael Mann his eye for Los Angeles is really something else, man. He makes it look like this city of lights, like
Yeah,
Macaulay says in Heat. He really makes it look beautiful. You can't see any of the homeless people shitting on the sidewalk with Michael Mann's lens. I mean, it looks like something that is out of a dream sometimes.
yeah, blow colours. I'm glad not to hear no echo as well. And yeah, it reminds me of what Matthew Vaughn said when he was being interviewed on Layer Kick, because he kind of looked at films like Heat as inspiration
Okay.
for Layer Kick, because he wanted to do the
Okay.
same. Yeah, he wanted to do what Michael Mann did for LA for London, because he said
Did
if
he?
you,
Did he do it right?
yeah, because he said he want yeah, whatever Michael Mann did for LA, Matthew Vaughn
Yeah.
wanted to do for London with Layer Kick, and he even said, if you look at LA, it's a very ugly city, but Michael Mann makes it look beautiful.
Uh huh.
I kind of agree with him a little bit
Well,
there.
I've been to L.A. and I've been to Miami. I've even been to a couple places overseas, but I've not been to London, so I can't speak intelligently. So, do you think he accomplished it?
I think so. Yeah, I've been to London a couple of times. I enjoyed it. I never went to the crime-ridden fucking street areas though, thankfully, because yeah, you get fucked up around the urban areas. And
Yes, Gord King. Everybody, chill out. There's no echo. It's
I'm
fine.
gonna get
You,
fucking ripped on that.
yeah, you can listen. We're having a good discussion. You can echo my nuts. How about
Yeah.
that? All right, we're fine. You leave my man alone. I don't want to hear no more bullshit.
It's all good fun. Fucking yeah, you gotta laugh about it though. You can't just keep you can't fucking drive yourself nuts over it, can you? It happens, shit happens. Thankfully, it's not happening now. So yeah, and obviously he's asking him, "Have you been to LA? Do you like coming to LA?" He's like, "Nah." Every time I want to leave because it's sprawled out, disconnected. And then he mentions
Yeah,
about the guy dying on the M train,
yeah,
and no one notices for fucking hours. He's like
yeah.
coming around all these stops, and no one seems to care. and he seems to have a real fucking. It kind of hints that he's become very dehumanized because he has a very bitterness against humanity itself because of
Yeah.
something like that.
I just think it's funny that Vincent has that outlook when like he's like sprawled out, disconnected. Nobody cares about this guy. Okay, well, you're kind of disconnected,
Yeah,
Vincent, and you kill people for money. Why don't you get off your high horse a little bit there, big guy? Like, it's, I mean, come on, man. Like, seriously. So, I mean, I don't know.
yeah. Some of these killers can be a bit hypocritical, though. I've kind of, it's, yeah,
Well, it goes back to what you said earlier. When you referenced, the whole thing with when he plays that role for Max's mom. Is Vincent, uh is he is he sincere in these things? Does he believe this bullshit that he espouses? Or is it a thing where, he's just basically has this, mentality, this shit that he just throws out there to just kind of, put people at a disadvantage and put them on the back foot? Does Vincent really believe this bullshit he's saying? Does he really care that a guy died on the MTA and no one noticed, or is it just more bullshit that he can say so he can look at people as targets? So
yeah, no, yeah. Like gives them excuse saying, well, people don't seem to care about each other, so who cares if I fucking cap these bastards? Yeah, I get what you
yeah.
mean now. Yeah,
Well,
and
that's why we do these breakdowns.
it's a nice little setup as well, though, isn't it, for a really, really sad payoff, really tragic payoff.
Yes, it
Mhm.
is. So this
And
is where Vincent sort of discovers, Max pulls his little trick that he probably pulls 20, 30 times a night, where he basically breaks down how long it's going to take to get to where he's going to get to. 6 minutes to do this, 2 minutes to do that, 1 minute for, oh shit happens, and hey, go ahead and time me. Let's see if we can do it. And
yeah, because
not
he
only
mentions
does,
he gets lucky
yeah,
with the
go ahead.
lights. Yeah,
Yeah. So he's good at what he does, but he's also humble. You know what I mean? He's saying, "Oh no, I just got lucky." Nah, you didn't get lucky. You knew what you were doing. And so this is the moment where Vincent's like, "This is my guy. This is the guy that's gonna get me on time where I need to go." Plus being in the cab is a good cover.
exactly. Yeah,
You drive around taking out targets. You're gonna have to do a couple different, like you see what they do in movies like Heat or The Town. You go pull a serious armed felony like that, you need a switch car, you need a driver, you need all this. Well, Vincent's a one man. So in effect, he utilizes these unknowing cab drivers to be his cover, because who's going to look at a cab? A cab
yeah,
can be anywhere. It doesn't matter. So
yeah.
it's
'Cause
great
they're all over the place,
subterfuge.
aren't they?
Yeah. It's good tradecraft.
I know.
So
And yeah, because he's gonna say, you know what, I gotta make a few stops. I need you. I'll have you do it, and I'll pay you fucking handsomely because yeah, throw a bit of money around because he's gonna get paid loads more anyway for his job.
sure.
And like you never really you see him go up to the location of the target, but you never see it because it does lead to a real good reveal where he just falls right on top of the taxi, and
Yeah.
Max is like freaking out, and
Yeah.
yeah, Vincent's out, and he's like, "Yeah, shit, you should have seen what happened. This guy just fell in the cab, and
Yeah. Guy
the
just fell
way he
on top of my
responds as
cab.
well, yeah,
Yeah.
the way he responds as well, Max fucking knows it was him. He's like, he
Yeah.
clocks it straight away.
Yeah. And you see what Vincent is doing. Vincent is like, he's all right. Well, this is the situation. Now it's time to improv. He's checking up and down the street. Is anybody looking? Is anybody out of their house? Is there a patrol car coming? What's going on? Do I have any potential witnesses, which might be potential victims? So who do I got to deal with? No, everything's good. So I just got to deal with this cab driver and get this situation under control.
Yeah, I've noticed that because he's always like kind of looking around. Like later in the nightclub, he's looking at all the security guards, see how many they are, and if it might jeopardize his chances of reaching his target, and or if he'll have to adapt to it as well. And
Yeah.
once again, we get a great line as well. It's like, "You killed him." It's like, "No, I didn't. I shot him. Bullets in the fall killed him."
Right. Disconnecting himself from it. Yeah, I didn't kill him. Bullets
Yeah,
fall killed. I shot him. It's
yeah,
not my fault. It's not my fault he's not bulletproof.
Yeah, he's like fucking trying to justify his actions. I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of what most killers do, though. At least you're honest about it, though.
I don't know if it's justifying, but he doesn't need this guy seizing up and hyperventilating and fucking losing his shit. So he's trying to kind of decompress and de-escalate the situation. You know, I don't think Vincent gives a fuck one way or the other what anybody thinks about him or what he thinks that much about himself. I think he's just trying to keep Max under control.
Yeah, because he needs him. He needs him to keep him in control. Otherwise, if he freaks out and runs off, he's lost his guy, and he's not going to be able to do his job in time. So, and he'll probably things will be a bit more difficult for him.
Yeah,
and he Max is like, it's okay, you can take the cab. They never check us driving these things anyway. And I won't tell. I went to what, and Vincent just looks at him. You won't tell no one. It's like, no, what?
Hey, you won't tell anybody? Yeah, get in the fucking cab.
No. He toys with, but he knows straight away he's not going to fucking believe him. You know he's not going to believe him anyway. Because why? No.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's like poor Max actually thinks did I just talk my way out of this? It's like, no, dude, get your ass back in the cab.
Yeah,
come on. Quit fucking
you're
around.
Not getting off that easy. Fucking hell.
We're in for a night, buddy. You need to buckle in. We got stuff to do.
Yeah. If there was any taxi driver as well, he would have killed him and took the taxi. But no, he knows this guy is very good at getting somewhere quicker. He knows the timing of the lights, everything, and shit like that. So yeah, because he's much more better at driving around the city than he is.
Oh, sure. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he definitely knows this is his guy. Plus, what else is he going to do? Because then if he can't let him go, so he'd have to kill Max and then also hide the body. And then now he's got to get another sense of transportation. It's just, that's too problematic. So shut up.
Well, it's darkly funny, though. It is. You got to have a bit of a sixth sense of humor to find it funny. And
yeah. So here we get Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah, Ruffalo.
One of the last times I actually dig Mark Ruffalo. It's so funny because he used to be such a good character actor, and he's great in this. He actually learned his part here from a real undercover vice detective out in L.A. And from everything from the way that he carries himself, the way that he carries his weapon, the way he keeps his extra mags in the front, which is, that's a telltale sign. Not that the fucker ever gets a chance to use it, but the way that the way that he moves and speaks,
because he doesn't really hold his gun like a cop, does he? He holds it like a fucking gangbanger.
Yeah.
So he obviously has been an undercover cop for quite a while, and he's really got into it a little bit more. But he's still managing to hold on to his moral compass because he is a good cop, and he actually is trying to do the right thing.
Oh, he's a great cop, and he's so good that in the scene when he pops up in here, I thought he was some kind of I thought he was like either another rival hitman, or I thought he was like a cartel guy or something, until he gets on the phone and calls in, and gives his detective ID number and stuff. And then I was like, oh, okay, I get it.
Yeah, I always found it funny that the criminal is conducting himself like a cop would, or an army guy, while the actual cop is conducting himself like a criminal. In a way,
I've heard it said once that the criminal and the cop both of their trades come from the same basket.
Oh yeah, definitely.
It is weird praising Ruffalo. Yeah, I mean, but you can't see in the future. But back in 2004, Ruffalo was still pretty. Again, social media. What are you going to do? We learned too much about him. He was probably always a piece of shit, but I mean, back then he was just a piece of shit. Was a good actor. So make of that.
Yeah, no, because I mean, he started that anti-fracking thing, and loads of people lost their job from him. And yeah, he's a dick. He is. Yeah. And the thing is, I did kind of like him as the Hulk. I preferred Edward Norton better, but yeah, he just wanted to. He didn't care if the Hulk got fucking neutered. He was because he was so up his own ass and walked politics.
Yeah.
But yeah, now obviously the cops. He knows something's up now, and he's trying to get his cop buddies on to find out what's happening. And yeah, and it's almost like Vincent's trying to get Max onto his outlook on life to help him get through the job. Is like, listen, I have one fat Angelo, and you're throwing a hissy fit.
Yeah, did you join? Yeah, you ever heard of Rwanda? They killed thousands before sunrise. Did you get on? Greenpeace, AmFam, You know, did you join did you fly over there and go help out and get in the Peace Corps or stuff like that? You know, like that's you didn't do shit about that, and this is one guy, and you only care because it happened right in front of you. And so again, now the guy's in the trunk, but people die every day. It is what it is, And so all of this stuff is just, but really at the end of the day, it's all just stuff so that Vincent can control Max's movements and what he's doing in order to help finish his assignment. He doesn't really give a shit at the end of the day what Max feels or thinks or whatever. What he needs Max to perform. So he's speaking to him in this way in order to get him through the next moment. We did this a lot under combat. You get a guy who's never been in combat before. Sometimes they piss themselves, sometimes they shit themselves, sometimes they freeze up, and you need them to perform. Because if they can't perform, then they deter you from your mission. So that's what he's doing right now.
Yeah, because he's not totally wrong either. I mean, yeah, what he's doing is fucking wrong, but what he's saying is there is some truth in it, even though he is kind of sort of like.
I think there's nothing but truth in what he's saying. He's like, I don't know any Rwandans. Yeah, you don't know the guy in the trunk either. So.
Yes, yeah, he seems to recognise a bit of hypocrisy in people as well, even though. But yeah, I do like how Jamie Foxx is like acting like how a real guy could. I mean, because you need that, yeah.
Yeah. So this is our first big tense moment where the fucking nosy ass LAPD, instead of rounding up gangbangers and pulling drug addicts off the street, they see a taxi cab with that sustained a little bit of damage, and they're going to make a big fucking federal case about this. Police
like that, man. Guys, in my area. Yeah. But fucking kids fucking going around causing trouble. Yeah, we have not seen any policemen around. Someone parks in a fucking disabled spot. They get fucking hauled in.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I like this actor as well who plays this cop, Richard T. Jones from the Sarah Connor Chronicles. Yeah.
Also, he plays the sergeant on The Rookie, also set in LA.
He plays a random cop on a phone booth as well. I've spotted that.
Yeah. He's good at playing a cop. A lot of people thought he was a cop.
Yeah, because he plays it so well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen him in anything else though since Sarah Connor Chronicles, because he was good in that role. He was very good.
He's in the Rookie. He's a major player in The Rookie.
I'll have to check that out then.
Yeah, it's been running for like 7 years. Yeah,
it is a very intense moment though, because now it looks like this guy's gonna have to kill these fucking coppers, and it's gonna cause more attention. And Max is really trying to talk his way out of it, and it's
he wasn't doing a bad job either. He was doing pretty good. I mean, the cops were being super dicks, and I'm not gonna lie, I was like, you know what, you guys are being such dicks, I hope Vincent kills you. You're getting yourself in something that doesn't need to be over something that doesn't need to be, and you're about to get fucking killed. And I love that Vincent's almost just like aggravated at this point. He's just like, oh my God, now I got to kill a bunch of people. Oh, this is such a pain in the ass, luckily
they get called though, don't they? So they're like, all right,
they get a call out.
Let's go do something else. Yeah, let's go have sex with a couple of Jeep hookers. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yep. So he puts away the HK-45, and they are on their way.
Yeah, and they're on the way to the second target, and he fucking zip ties him to the car, doesn't he? And then he gets a call by his boss saying that the fucking we've been getting fucking calls from the police saying your car is trashed, and you know what? It's coming out of your bloody pay, all right? You're liable for it. And I like how he's standing up for him only because he has to, but it's still very funny when he does. Like, he pretends to be his lawyer and says, "Listen, your insurance will cover it, so stop being a fucking thieving bastard, all right? You're trying to extort a working man." And he actually tells him to tell his boss to go fuck himself. I love it.
Yeah. Tell him to shove the cab up his ass.
Yeah, up your fat ass.
he's getting Max to kind of break out of that passive mentality.
Yeah, and then it comes to the second target. He just assumes it's another passerby, another visitor over some bullshit.
Well, he thinks it's that. Well, he's an attorney for the criminal organization Felix works for, and they're going to court tomorrow. So it's not out of the question that a process server would show up with legal documents. A process server is basically an adjunct on they're like a step above a courier and a step below like a private investigator. Although private investigators do sometimes serve people with papers, so it's where you have to have something. A legal paper which you actually have to be put in your hand and legally you've been served with paperwork. So again, like I said, that's part of his disguise, is that he could easily be a process server from the way that he looks.
Yeah, the grey silk, because it probably is an expensive silk, but you'd think it was something but it's very inconspicuous, very mundane. It's not flashy or anything. It's not too flash. And obviously he's trying to call for help, and it's not happening because it's LA. Fucking hell, crime happens all the time. People are kind of numb to it. And then come these fucking muggers, and it just gets fucking worse for him. It really does.
Yeah.
And then we come because
in LA they're fucking animals. You know, you're calling for help, and it's going to be a bunch of fucking dope heads. They're going to be the ones to come and help, quote unquote, help you. You know, so
yeah, I know. And I like this scene as well. I've been seeing loads of clips on YouTube of people recreating this scene and it's kind of like a quick draw, and he shoots them in the chest and head, and look how quick that is. He just fucking knocks the gun out the guy's hand.
Yep.
Shoots from the hip, gets him in the chest, then gets the other guy, and then shoots him in the head when he's down.
Yep. A coup de grace. 2 in the chest, 1 in the head. Puts your man down and keeps him dead.
Yep, and I think I got some clips of the scene. Let's have a look. Where is it?
Bring it. Bring it on.
Where is it?
I could watch this a million times and never get tired of it.
Is that my briefcase?
Is your briefcase? Yeah, it is. Why, you want it back?
What about your wallet?
What else you got for me? Huh?
Fuck!
I love that. Yeah, like I said, I've been seeing loads of people recreate that as well, but it's still fucking good. Tom Cruise has really done his homework here because yeah, and I think I got another one of Tom Cruise learning.
My briefcase?
Is your briefcase? Yeah, it is. Why, you want?
That guy seemed pretty down today. You know? And that guy was still twisting. That guy was still twisting around. I saw him reaching for his gun. Gave me one of those cross-eyed looks. I said, you know. Yeah, we were using live ammo. It was great.
You fucking he's a maniac. Yeah, the script said it was supposed to be done 5 shots in 16 or 1.6 seconds, or excuse me, 16 seconds. Tom Cruise beat it with 1.6, and Tom Cruise beat it at 1.39. I mean, dude, a little guy, but he's got fucking quick hands, doesn't he? You know.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he never phones it in, not once.
No. Yeah, I think we talked about that on the Tom Cruise stream. It's just like, other people, hey, the safety guy said we can't do this, so we're gonna give it to a stuntman. Tom Cruise like, yeah, he told me the same thing, so I fired that safety guy. So I got somebody else.
Yeah, he does. He wants to do his fucking so he kind of shows himself, and here's the clip. Let's see if we can get this shared on the stream. Give me a minute.
We're on our way to get demonetized right now.
No, this is just a random shot of someone else recreating it.
Okay. All
right. And here we go. Share.
Nice.
Dude, first shot, 1.47.
Nice. Yeah, handgun training is extremely difficult. You know, you can learn, almost anybody can learn how to be a pretty good rifle shot if you got 2 hands and 2 eyes. But you know, close quarter drills with handguns it tends to be extremely difficult. I've noticed that some people have an aptitude for it and they get better. Some people do not, and they can be trained to be decent. And then sometimes you have somebody that's just phenomenal. You know, you have to think of it as an extension of your hand. And then as far as, you know, all of Tom Cruise and his alter ego Vincent in this, you know, I don't think there's a point ever in the movie when you doubt what he can do with the handgun. You know, you pop that drill, the Mozambique, you pop 2 in the chest and 1 in the head, because whether they got body armor on or not, or your bullets are not, you know, did not get where they needed to go, or even if the body shifted or moved, once you've put him down with the 2 shots to the chest, even if they're wearing body armor, you can put 1 in their head, and that's going to basically finish them off. So, and that we'll hear from the coroner later when he's looking at those bodies, and that's how the detective Mark Ruffalo figures out that this is the same guy doing this stuff. So yeah, it's great, a great attention to detail, and just it's amazing. Gives you more background on who it is you're exactly dealing with here. You know, this is not just some wild ass loon doing a bunch of weird shit. He's definitely the A team, not the B team.
Yeah, because it must take a long time to fucking learn to do, because you got to make sure you're not fumbling either. I probably would, because I'm a bit fucking clumsy, so who knows if I ever tried doing something like that.
Yeah. I was a 9mm instructor for a little while because a lot of people were having a hard time getting the 9mm under control back in 2006, 2007, up till like 2010. I think I stopped being the pistol instructor for my MP unit. And you know, it's just one of those things. It's just a tool. And you know, you learn certain drills. You can learn to be very proficient. You can't ever really learn to be great. You're either, you know, if you're going to be great, you have to have a talent. I think somebody like Tom Cruise is probably great. I think he probably has aptitude to do whatever he wants if he sets his mind to it. So, if anyone can control a 9mm genital, it's yes. Thank you, Lance. Thank you, Lance. So yeah, it's you know, they have an expression in pistol trainings. Slow is smooth and smooth is fast. So if you can keep yourself under control, because what happens in a gunfight, your body feels the stress hormone cortisol fills your body, and you start to shake, and that usually throws your shots off. So what you have to do is keep yourself under control, learn the movements, learn the techniques, and then have muscle memory. So every single time you pick up the weapon, you do the exact same thing. Which that will 9 times out of 10 save your life, except for that 1/10 time, which we're actually going to see in the movie, where adherence to strict nature of his training actually gets somebody killed. So, but we'll come to that.
I thought I was going to say now. I was about to say something, but yeah, because it kind of reminds me of that bit in Unforgiven where Gene Hackman talks about the whole quick draw thing is bullshit, because you know, if you're fucking drawing so fast, you aren't gonna have time to fucking aim carefully, are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like we're on about that. And obviously, Tom Cruise lets him know that him crying for help is just causing more tension, and it's causing people to get killed who wouldn't have needed to.
Right.
But then again, he got a couple of fucking scumbags off the streets as well. So I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, I see no harm done. No harm done. Also, did you see the gas prices were $1.83? Holy shit, we were living in different times 20 years ago. In LA, $1.83. We didn't know how good we had it.
Yeah, I'm surprised Lance is on right now. I thought I'd be doing his acting class because it's Friday. He usually does around this time, don't you? Anyway.
Don't know, but thanks for joining us, Lance. I thought you did. I thought you kicked ass yesterday on Open Bar.
Everyone, thanks for joining us. Jammer, Nix, God King, and let's have a look. Who else?
Blue Collar.
Blue Collar, yeah. How could I forget? Jacob Ironside, yeah. Thanks for joining us. Fucking hell, it's glad to have you all here and listening to a couple of idiots talk about a great fucking movie. And
that's us.
Great pleasure. It always is. So yeah, and he's obviously they're on schedule now, and he's like,
ahead of schedule.
I know. Get the slides back on. Wait, there we go. So it's like, do you like jazz? Well, there's a big jazz club, and he's obviously, he's obviously trying to take his mind off it, like they're taking a break, something like that. But we know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And the police are trying to figure out what's happening, where the fucking body is gone. It's I've kind of forgotten a lot about what's happened here. Fucking hell,
So
it's,
this is the So this is the first murder scene. Remember, Detective whatever the fuck, Detective Fanning here, Mark Ruffalo. He's called in his boss and a crime scene crew, and he, like anything else, you can't have a crime scene without a crime. You can't have a murder without a dead body. So they took the body with them. So he knows something's amiss, but his boss is very blasé, laissez-faire, and just like, listen, it's early in the morning. I don't give a shit. I want to go home. And, Fanning is just like, hey, something happened here. I had a confidential informant that's just disappeared. There's broken glass and blood here. Maybe he jumped off and then walked away. Oh yeah, I love his line. He has a great line. He's like, oh, he's depressed, so he jumped off a 2-story building. Oh, that feels better. I think I'll just carry on about my day.
Yeah, because the police job has got to be fucking hard because you're on call 24 hours, so you don't get a chance to have a consistent any consistent sleep patterns whatsoever because it's very inconsistent, these schedules. And sometimes it's not even scheduled. It's like most of it's like last minute because some shit happened.
Yeah, I could see Fanning being one of those guys that's like he's like what they ascribed the attributes to Vincent Hanna's character, Al Pacino's character in Heat, where he's just like he doesn't have a wife at home, or if he does, he doesn't give a shit. He's out there dedicated on the streets, prowling, never stopping. Whereas his supervisor here is just like, look, man, I'm fucking tired. I want to watch the ball game, bang my wife a couple times, get up in the morning, play with my kids. That's the kind of guy that should be a security guard, but inevitably they're always a fucking supervisor. Whereas, you got a hard charger of a detective going, something ain't right. And then, he's pushing this. And luckily the Vincent got a little sloppy, and his shell casing from the 45 is still up in the room. Apparently he didn't police up his brass, probably because the body went out the window and over the edge, and that took him out of the moment or whatever. So maybe a number of reasons. But when the CID agent finds the shell casing and it still smells of cordite because it's just been shot, they know something's fucking rotten in Denmark.
Yeah, and it's kind of like something that's gonna be his undoing later on. His dedication to the force, which is unfortunately something that is an occupational hazard in that kind of business.
Indeed.
And I recognise this actor as well. I've just remembered is Peter Berg from Banshee.
From Banshee? He's in Banshee?
Yeah, I think it's him. I think it's he's the lawyer on it.
He's a lawyer in Banshee. Banshee the TV show?
Yeah, Banshee the TV show. He's the lawyer. I think he's the one who shacks up with the fucking hot chick anyway from the ex-girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
I think it's, yeah.
I didn't remember him being on Banshee. Yeah, I've always known him from like The Last Seduction and a couple. He became a director for a while. I think he still. Yeah, he did. He directed the Will Smith Super Hancock, and a couple other action movies. As a matter of fact, I think he might have done Tears of the Sun. I have to not 100% sure on that one, but yeah, he's more of a director than an actor these days. But yeah.
So now we come back to we've already discussed the scene analysis now. Now we come to the jazz scene as well, and I think Vincent actually does like jazz. I think he seems to have a little bit of a passion for it, the way he's describing it. Like, look,
I believe yes. I think we're looking a little bit into Vincent now at this point. I think he's showing a little bit of his. I don't think this is an affectation. I think this is maybe that maybe he had somebody that trained him. Maybe he had somebody that was a friend at some point, and he was like, this is, and that's how he chose to live his life. Improving. You take it in the moment, and in his line of work, you kind of have to. You can have a strict adherence to tactics and tradecraft, but as far as the things could unravel at any moment. I mean, look what's happened already. Body fell out the window when he didn't mean to. Some crackheads pulled up on his, on the guy he was using for transportation. So, there's lots of stuff that could go wrong. So you have to improvise because the situation's always fluid. And that's probably, I think we're looking at a real, I think Vincent is being genuine here. I think he's also being genuine with the jazz guy here who was more about.
He seems to see, he knows he's a big, he is kind of one of these well known in the area, or probably is a little bit more of a legend in the city itself for that scene.
Yeah,
and I'm just looking at the trivia right now, where Michael Mann and Tom Cruise worked out where exactly Vincent came from, and while nearly none of it is mentioned in the film, their collaborative backstory is pretty detailed, and it does go back to the jazz thing. If he was in a foster home for part of his childhood and he was back in public school at age 11, then it would have been sometime in the 70s. He would have been dressed very awkwardly. He would have probably been ostracized because he looked odd. We postulated an alcoholic, abusive father who was culturally very progressive. He was probably part of Ed Sadlowski's Steelworkers Local, where he was a Vietnam veteran. He had friends who were African American on the south side of Chicago. The Checkerboard Lounge is 30 minutes away from the Calumet Skyway. The father was probably an aficionado of jazz.
Okay.
There was a great jazz scene in the south side of Chicago, but it's almost as if the father blamed the son for what happened to the mother. The father never tutored the boy in jazz, and so on. So I don't know. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it could be, but we never really truly know, innit? It's like that's a mystery, and so I think it was just something to help him get into character, to sort of like.
And I'm okay not knowing that. I'm okay for sure not knowing. Because I certainly would not want a prequel movie, where they have Tom Holland or Timothy Chalamet playing a young Tom Cruise in the 70s learning his trade and stuff like that. I don't need that. I'm good with this. I'm good with, a little bit of headcanoning and a little mystery behind this character. I don't need him dissected or shown to be he's actually a good guy and stuff like that. Like, no, he's a sociopathic serial killer, or not serial killer, but contract killer. And I'm good with that. I'm good with that, and I'm good with the movie. But yeah, I do feel like I forget the name of this character, but I this target, I feel like Vincent likes him. I feel like in another life, in another instance, he'd go to and just hang out at this jazz club and listen to stories all the time and listen to him play and have a drink with him. And I think they'd be cool. It sucks.
Yeah, because he does. Because it is played out very mournful when he does.
It is. Yeah, it's like a little bit of a chink in his armor, a bit.
So. Yeah, I think the character's name is Daniel, played by Barry Shabaka Henley.
Yeah, I think he's the lieutenant or the captain in the Miami Vice movie remake.
I need to watch that again. I'll just probably give it another go anyway. See if I might change my mind.
Yeah. I'll do it with you if you want. But yeah, man, it's I think Daniel is being legitimately honest, and he's telling the story about this famous jazz player.
Is Miles Davis? I forgot now.
Miles Davis. Sorry, I'm bad with names. I think his Miles Davis story is not cap. I think it's a true story. I think it's sincere. I think he sees something in Vincent. Unfortunately for him, he's seeing the side that Vincent wants him to see. I think that because it's not a coincidence that he didn't hit him at a later time or an earlier time when Daniel might be at his house, taking a shit or something. He got him here at the jazz club. So I think this guy sees a genuine fan in he sees this white collar guy hanging out with a fucking schlubby black dude. He's like, all right, this guy's hip. He's a hipster type. And he's chilling out listening to jazz and the look on Vincent's face, he's enthralled by the story. I think this one really hurts Vincent. I think if as weird as that is to say, I think this hit that he does actually takes a toll on Vincent.
I know. And it's a funny story as well. He's telling because I'd want to hang out with this guy after that story because Niles Davis tells a fan to take his fucking bitch ass fucking bitch with him. Fuck off.
Yeah. Well, what's funny is he's really describing Vincent. He's not even he unknowingly he's describing Vincent because Miles is so focused on his task and so good at what he does. He doesn't he doesn't have no time for some jive ass dude and this silly bitch. That's the same thing with Vincent. Vincent doesn't, he's a serious man on a serious business. He ain't got time for all this other bullshit.
I know, and it's kind of like you can see it on the look on his face when it hits him that he's there to fucking kill him, and he's like,
yeah,
you're a cool guy. He's like, I am a cool guy, but I got a job to do.
Yeah,
and I think he puts him at ease as well, saying, if you answer this fucking jazz question, I'll probably let you go. And he's like, yeah, and he answers it, but kills him anyway because fuck it, he's not going to just let him go.
Yeah,
His boss hasn't paid him to bargain; he's paid to kill him.
Yeah.
And it don't look like a very powerful weapon, but up close it will still do some damage. Like it won't blow his brains out, but
right. Well, this here is a different weapon than his 45. He's carrying this one because he's got to do one in public. So this is a long Colt 22 with a suppressor on it, and I think he gets like 3 shots before Daniel's head hits the table, or at least 2. And so that's not going to go through and through. That's going to just go inside your skull and rattle around like Pac-Man eating up your brain.
Yeah, and plus it'll give him a quick cleaner kill, just enough time to get out of there before anyone even notices something's up.
Yeah.
Because I mean the Mafia did that as well. They get like these 22s and shoot them a few times in the back of the head.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But he did get the question wrong though.
So and obviously he's free. He's fucking. Yeah, he's had enough. He's fucking like he seems to have zoned out a little bit more, and Vincent's trying to get him back on track again. And now he's got another call from the boss saying that his fucking mother's been ringing about him, asking what's happened. So now he's got to go to his mum, otherwise she's going to start ringing around, and it's going to cause more tension than the need. So okay, he's there, fucking man. Then get back on track.
Yeah, definitely a break of routine would draw attention. And although we've gone a little past it, I love the fact that the realization that Max gets, and he does his first actual dig at Vincent, and he says, "You played him. If he had gotten the question right, would you have let him go?"
Yeah, wouldn't have fucking done it anyway. Because look, he's a witness to a case. Who's gonna put his boss behind bars, and bargain is not on the table.
Yeah, you don't think that if he'd have let him go, Daniel would have took off and went into hiding? You don't think so?
It probably may have done, but you'd never take that risk, would you? I wouldn't.
I mean, I wouldn't, but I mean,
no.
I just no.
Nah, it's like that gangster in Casino said, "Why take that chance?
Why take a chance?
Yeah.
Dead men tell no tales."
Exactly. And once we come to the flowers where, and obviously Max is like, what's the point? She's a bit of a moody old cow. She doesn't care about flowers. And, once again, he plays to his empathy a little bit, saying she carried you in your womb for 9 months, and obviously it's hinting that he probably did have a great affection towards his mother, despite the fact he's probably lost her at a young age.
Yeah, he probably didn't know her.
Yeah, he's probably he's missing. He's probably never had a proper mother figure, just an abusive dad giving him shit for everything. Yeah. And this is funny as well because the cop's right there with the killer, and he still doesn't know yet.
Yeah, a lot of people, complain about the contrivances of this movie. I can explain all of them, but I cannot. This one and them just randomly being in the same elevator. I mean, come on, man. Come on. That's a little far-fetched. The other stuff I can actually explain away. That one with them just being in the same elevator seems highly unlikely.
I know, but it's just someone that's kind of played as some ironic laugh, really, isn't it?
Sure,
Like,
sure. Yeah,
yeah,
sure. Like,
yeah,
oh,
it's
he's right
obviously first time.
there. Yeah. It's like, oh, okay, well, what was he going to do if he did know who Vincent was and what to say? All it would have done is get him killed right there.
Yeah.
Like,
I
it
love
wouldn't
how her attitude changes, though, because I mean, I've got family members. Even my mum would always be a little bit different around other new people.
uh-huh.
Yeah, if I'd be a dick, yeah, she would give me shit, you know. And after time, after time, she would be right till. But she was always a little bit more different when we had more people around.
Oh,
It's
sure.
yeah,
Sure.
kind of one of those things. And it does make me laugh.
What
And
I'm gonna
even
do with flowers? Why are you gonna waste your money? It's like,
yeah.
oh, he bought them for you. Oh, they are beautiful. Thank you, sir.
We found out a little bit more about Max as well. His lying to her as well. Just like saying he actually does run his limo company, and
yeah, that's a little embarrassing, isn't it? That's embarrassing.
I know, and it's he's playing friendly, and yeah, even though he's a fucking sociopath, he can be very charming. He knows how to.
Oh,
He knows
sure.
how to be very sociable around people, even though he probably doesn't care about social conventions or anything
Right.
like that.
That's just his facade. That's his mask
I
that he
know.
shows the world.
Yeah, so he knows how to come across human, even though he probably is even though he lost his humanity years ago.
Hmm.
And this we obviously see a chance that he sees the opportunity to grab the case and jeopardize any chances of anybody else getting killed, and I think it does take Vincent back a little bit because he's kind of rebelled against him, hasn't he?
Well, he's done. He's been. It's funny because it's a line, like a line has been crossed
Yeah,
in Max's mind, and really Vincent did this to himself because he's been like, hey, tell your boss to go fuck himself. Hey, I need you to do this. Hey, you need
yeah,
to be okay with this, and now he's kind of created a bit of a monster with the one thing he didn't want him to do, which was to rebel against him. Now he's done. At possibly the cost of his own life, because I mean, realistically, this should have been the point where Vincent just kills him, So now,
no,
whether or not he rebelled because he was embarrassed about being found out, that's just about him not really being successful, or maybe he just doesn't, I don't know what or Max thought he was doing with this, but I mean, it really was super risky.
yeah, no,
So
because he probably get himself killed, but who knows? He would have saved a lot more people from dying. And
yeah,
but this does sort of trigger something in Vincent. He starts to become curious now because he's jeopardized his works. But now, okay, you got me into this. I'm gonna see if you can get me out of it.
yeah,
And get back
yeah,
on track.
yeah.
And yeah, it's because it's kind of going to be a win-win situation because he does describe later that if he fucks up trying to convince his boss to get a new bit of data, to get another, to get the backup data on the witnesses, on the targets, he'll fucking kill him, and Tom Cruise can get to fuck off and disappear, doesn't he?
Yeah, yeah, because he's done it. He's done all he can at that point.
I know. And he's probably still got a shitload of money in stocks and bonds, and that's saved up anyway, so he probably
Yeah.
doesn't need the extra money.
No,
But
probably not.
I know. But if he does achieve getting the backup data, he can get back to his job and probably continue his work, and probably won't have to fuck about looking for another employer.
Yeah. Yep. That's what happens when you got stuff squirreled away. I should have squirreled more stuff away, and then the feds wouldn't have gotten to keep all my shit. But whatever. Lesson learned.
Yeah, the government are fucking thieving bastards there. And yeah, this is where he finds out that it's this is not just an ordinary killing. This is fucking
There's a
proper.
pattern.
This is
Pattern.
ex-military fucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, really
The
advanced
the
shit.
targets and the way in which they were killed is identical to he's got a missing CI that was supposed to testify against Felix, which he was probably checking on him to make sure he was okay so that something didn't happen to him. We've got the lawyer for Felix has just been killed. who was going to testify against Felix. You've got a couple of random gang members. What do they have in common? They were all killed exactly the same way. I mean, for all he knows, they were going to go testify. He doesn't know. But
he seems to have a routine on how he executes people as well. Like it's being haunted to his instincts. It's kind of like when, well, it is kind of like when you fucking do learn to drive and you can and you're calculating when you turn around and when to shift your gear, something like that. The more you do it, and becomes second nature. Yeah, and it's something that kind of becomes his undoing later on at the end as well with the final confrontation. But we'll get more to that, and I'll let you describe that later on because because you did a good job describing that last time on the Tom Cruise stream with Stupenza.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, obviously he's walking up and it looks like they're going to get onto a higher level of authority, like the fucking FBI tactical teams, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah, and I think this is the scene where he talks about his background, like how his dad was abusive towards him, and
oh yeah, it is. Yeah, you're exactly right. I forgot. I minimized my iTunes, and now I've let it drift, so I'm a little bit past you, but I can fix that. But
I like how he doesn't go full onto the back into his backstory. He just kind of keeps it abridged, does he? Like I got thrown into adoption, ended up back with him, and he was a fucking dick. And and then he says he killed him, but then he starts fucking laughing and saying, "I'm kidding. He died of liver cancer."
Yeah,
it's pretty creepy the way he says it and the way he laughs about it as well. But I think Tom Cruise had the same thing happen. I think his dad died of liver cancer in real life.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I will tell you this. A lot of this, so Michael Mann works with a guy named David Mamet a lot. A lot of this is David Mamet dialogue. David Mamet is almost like Shakespearean in the way that he does dialogue. He did the dialogue touch-ups for Heat, another movie called Red Belt. A TV show called The Unit. There's certain mannerisms, certain things that he says and does. You'll hear a lot of somebody describes something. He's like, I was put in foster care, went from house to house, aged out of the system, like that. Like that is like a affectation that David Mamet has his characters say. There's a movie called Heist where they do a lot of that with Gene Hackman. But yeah, it's you get a nice little dose of David Mamet dialogue here between Vincent and Max, and I'm here for it. I love it.
David Mamet, that name sounds very familiar. Let's have a look.
Yeah, Glenn Ross, A Few Good Men.
Yes, that's a good film. That fucking hell, I love that.
Yeah, he does that.
Yeah, fuck you. That's my name. Yeah, that's a great film. I need to rewatch that again. I love that.
Yeah, great movie.
Once again, I love the way fucking Michael Mann just shoots LA, and especially at night. It's so much
love. There's so much love in it. Yeah.
You can't get sucked into the seediness of it all.
Yeah. So we've got this club. So now Vincent's giving him an ultimatum, like, hey, I need to get, we've got a few more targets left to do. You fucked up all my prep work. I'm not going into this situation blind. I need to get it fixed, but I'm not willing to compromise my face. So you're going to go in and talk to Anton Chigurh and get my information for me at this club, because I'm not willing to put myself at risk because I like to be anonymous. That's part of my trade craft. So you're going to do it. You don't want to do it? That's fine. Don't do it. Then they'll go ahead and kill you after I leave, and then I will kill your mom on my way out of town. Problem solved. So really, makes him jump out of his passive. Hey, Tez, makes him jump out of his passive mind frame here. And this is definitely not a fuck around club. If there's ever a cartel club, it's this. Like people are in there probably, and there's almost nobody in the fucking club, so it's almost completely just filled with like cartel guys and shit like that. Yeah. And they've got
used for money laundering as well.
For sure. For sure.
And it doesn't need to be full. Just have a shitload of money you made from your drug deals and run some fake sales, and there you go. You got your money all washed for you.
Yeah, and they don't have the C team or the D team or the or the regular. They don't have Patrick Swayze type bouncers at this club. They got these guys all donning fucking Tommy Tactical gear, serious fucking guys with Kevlar vests and Glocks, standing outside this fucking place. So they're not fucking around. So
Yeah,
this is not
people
a
who are real good at
club.
fucking killing and not much else.
Yeah. So super high end professional level security at this place. We got Max getting thrown into the lion's den here. That would have been hard to answer. Hard to answer. But yeah, so we got Max is going to have to go step out of his comfort zone and do something difficult here. Go confront Anton Chigurh and get the workups on the rest of the targets for Vincent.
Yeah, and fucking Javier Bardem is fucking scary in this. He's only in it for a little while, but man. You've got the FBI here there because they've obviously been running surveillance on him, and it's obviously been very uneventful as well because he looks like he's fucking falling asleep here.
Yeah, because they've got a federal indictment coming up, where they're going to court tomorrow. So I mean, basically everything is sewn up. But as a precaution, when you're federally indicted, they're going to make sure that the people who are supposed to be. So they probably got some cartel guy that Felix works for, sitting somewhere in a cell somewhere, and this guy's directed his people like, listen, there's like 5 or 6 witnesses on me tomorrow. I need them to die. So
yeah, and we come to know a bit more like they've never really met each other face to face. They've contacted each other, but it's like not directly. They've probably gone through a lot of other guys that have passed on the information to Vincent that way to avoid any direct connections to if anything should go wrong. So I wonder if did you ever do that when you was a private contractor, something like that?
Do what now?
Like you wouldn't really be directly contacted from your employer, mostly just his lackeys to avoid any.
Yeah, I mean because the company I worked for the longest was a London-based company. So yeah, they were in London while we were in Iraq and Iran and West Africa and stuff. So yeah, it definitely was intermediaries. But I mean, they knew who I was. They had a whole workup. I had a secret clearance. They knew I was a Army reservist MP that was out there on a shooter job. So they knew that. It's not like they didn't know who I was. I probably didn't know who they were. So
yeah, very shady stuff. And they recognise that Max is there, and they're thinking he's Vincent now, and they think that he might be the assassin, and that he probably has killed the real taxi driver that looks like him, and in order to make himself look inconspicuous, it's like something these KGB guys or whatever do all the time. Really secretive government shit.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, this actually looks like a nice place to go if you can deal with the fucking fact that these guys will probably kill you.
Yeah, I'll go hang out. Yeah, I'll go hang out at a cartel club in East LA. Sure. Yeah, sounds fun. Sounds fun. Sounds like a fun time. Sounds like a fun time. Yeah, the only one who's not buying it is Mark Ruffalo. He's just he's like, yeah, no, I don't know. That doesn't sound that's a little too easy.
Yeah, and I forgot to mention this actor. That's Bruce McGill from who was on, I think, the second series of Miami Vice back when Michael Mann was the showrunner on it. Yeah, and probably one of the best episodes as well.
He was also he was the piece of shit private detective that was banging Joe Hollenbeck's wife with his big fat face.
Yeah. I tripped, fell, somehow landed on his dick. He's been in Laws. He's a very good actor. He's like the corrupt mayor in Reacher as well. He's in Time Cop. I think he was in the last episode of Quantum Leap as well.
He brings a certain authenticity to his roles. I like it.
Yeah, he's a very underrated actor. I liked him in My Cousin Vinny as well, even though he only had a very small role.
Yeah, as the sheriff. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we've got Anton Chigurh. He's elevated to a high level cartel position, and you're right. And this just one scene is extremely menacing, and we've got Max playing Vincent and not being very convincing.
Yeah, exactly. He's all fucking nervous, and he's like, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. This is not gonna work. I am way in over my fucking head, and I have no choice but to do it. And you've got this cartel guy sitting behind him. He's Yeah, it's a very intense situation. I'd be shitting my fucking pants in the air.
I love the whole all of my severely convincing. Yes, he has to be convincing. Yes, he does. Sword King.
I like that one.
Good play on words. You know, this little speech, this little story that he gives them about El Pedro Negro, the Black Peter. And that's another thing. You'll get like guys that are really south of the border, Mexican, Guatemala, like that. They will use a Spanish word to uh, to define an English word. He's like, so he had a little donkey, a burro. It's like
It makes it more menacing as well. I don't know.
It does. You see, he give the burro to the little bad children. So Vincent, why are you telling me that you lost all of it? And how do you think old Jolly Saint Nick is gonna feel about that? How you think he gonna be very upset for you? You know, and and
yeah, you know what it means. You know.
Yeah.
He's basically saying, yeah, you fucked up the list and you're not supposed to. That's your fucking job.
Yeah. So, Max realizing that, fuck, man, this ain't cutting it. And I'm about to get killed. And then my mom's going to get killed. And there's nothing. I better step it up a little bit. And in a great scene.
And there's a chance that if antagonizing him will get him killed. But fuck it. Why not? Just
he throws an audible.
No.
He's just like, hey, let me. That's a football reference, by the way. He throws an audible and just is like, yeah, I better tell the guy behind me with a gun to put it away before I take it away from him and beat his bitch ass to death with it.
I know. I love that.
Yeah, it's just like
it's a nice scene where you sort of see him grow some balls a little bit as well. And,
I love it. I love it.
And it's a good. He's seen him develop as a character. He's not just playing it safe now. He's actually taking a big risk and actually manning up a bit, trying to adapting, almost like he's something. A part of Vincent is rubbing off on him as well, because he does use his words as well to sort of like
he's improvising. He's improvising for maybe one of the first times in his life, or what could possibly be one of the last times in his life if his improv is not done properly. I love the whole like take the glasses off, put the glasses on,
and just looks him in the eye as well, like giving this fucking stare like he does mean business.
Yeah,
because looking away, because avoiding eye contact, that shows what kind of a person he is, but no. Gives him the eye contact.
Yeah. Awesome.
Nice little bit of body language. I love that.
Yeah. Awesome scene. And the fucked up thing is like, Anton Chigurh had the fucking jump drive the whole time. Like he could have just been like, all right, well, here, go ahead and get back to work, but he went through all this bullshit to just be a dick about it. And it's just like, oh, here's the thumb drive. You're head of
the cartel. You got to be a fucking dick. You got to be, You got to show that you're going to be fucking psychotic if someone there gives you a reason to be.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, you can't be nice you can't be a nice fucking criminal, can you? You can't be nice.
No, I guess not. So we've got the FBI is on their surveillance with the LAPD, and they're taking a look at, they can see. They're a few seconds behind everything, and they're watching on the cameras that indeed this quote unquote Vincent has walked in to meet with Felix, because they've had Felix under surveillance, which is probably another reason why the actual Vincent did not want to go in there. So
because he blew his cover as well, because he's supposed to be invisible, isn't he? He's not supposed to exist.
Right.
And even though he's giving him the backup data, he's still very paranoid that Vincent might be losing his edge, or the guy who he thinks is Vincent is losing his edge. So he gets his fucking guards to trail him, and if something goes wrong, fucking kill him, then kill the targets.
Yeah.
And obviously Fanny's trying to do the right thing, and they've got the backup data. Now it's back to fucking work. And the FBI are now on the trail now. They're going to try and save the witness. And Fanning's partner's not. He's like, let them handle it. I'm going to go back and just fucking get drunk. And
what a worthless piece of shit. What a completely worthless. This guy is fucking useless.
And not to sound like a fucking anti-cop guy or anything like that. But there's a lot of officers who are like him, and they're just in it for the fucking benefits and to wave the fucking badges around, and probably for the free haircuts and shit like that.
Yeah,
I like
exactly.
this job too. I get free haircuts.
But yeah, but Fanning will not be deterred. He's like, "Yep,
Yeah.
I'm going in. Yeah, I'm going myself." So
Because that's what heroes do. Oh, sorry, wrong actor. Wrong
Yeah, that's
MCU
all
actor.
that's all right.
Yeah,
That's all right.
I love the once again. I love these fucking overhead shots of LA. It's
Yeah, City of Lights. The City of Lights.
best film to watch at night time, in my opinion. You just can't. It actually, I always feel more drawn into it when I do.
Sure. I get it. But so now we've got these three factions converging on the target. We've got the federal tactical surveillance team is heading there to secure Peter Lynn, the witness. We've got Vincent and Max are on their way to eliminate him, and we've got the cartel crew following Vincent and Max to make sure that they do exactly what they're supposed to do. And if not,
steps up the tension, doesn't it, as well? Because you know it's not just these two now. You got these other two guys after on them now as well, and it's gonna things are gonna go tits up.
Yeah.
It is,
which is a great time with all this tension going on to decompress a little bit and have a little quiet introspective moment. And I love Vincent just going, "Hey,
call that girl, yeah.
You gonna call that girl? You gonna call her? I don't know. We get through this. I think you should call that girl." And I think I don't know what you think. I think he's being genuine when he says that. I think he's being sincere.
Yeah. Because he's a guy who's never really taken chances, and he's obviously going to be a guy who's going to live with a shitload of decisions that he regretted not ever taking, and and once again, this could be his last day on Earth right now. Shit's going to happen, and take a fucking risk for once in your life.
Yeah. Vincent. I feel like he knows this about Max, and I feel like he's just seen Max pull something off. You know, he even says to him, he goes, "Vegas odds didn't have you walking out of there." I like that he's just like, "Hey man, did a good." It's his way of thanking him, kind of like, "Hey man, you did a good job. You should call that girl." I think. I think. Are you able to at all? If you can't, don't worry about it. But the upcoming Coyote scene, are you able to play that at all or no?
Probably not, though. I mean, probably some
because it's got music. Because it's got music as well, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, for a minute I thought it was the fucking 2000 singer Stain, that if that's his real name.
No, it's audio. No, it's Audio Slave, Shadow of the Sun. Yeah. So probably don't play that, but yeah, the little I'll wait till you pull the slide up.
But there was one thing I was kind of like speculating as well. Was Vincent gonna kill Max at the end anyway, though?
Ooh, good after question. All finished, I mean, I don't see any way he couldn't. Now, are you asking? Are you asking would he kill him after everything that's happened, or would you? Or or are you asking like if things had gone to plan and he went to all the targets and no one ever knew, no one ever.
After everything that's happened, because I mean, he knows that he's a killer now, and
after everything that's happened, I don't see how he could let him live. I don't see how.
I know because because what's that part in South Park where the kids are worried about their parents murdering each other because they watch murder porn? It's like, listen, even if I hire a guy to kill your mom, I'd have to kill him because 9 out of 10 they end up fucking confessing to the crimes anyway.
Yeah.
So it's if I was Vincent and this shit happened, I probably would pretend to be his friend a little bit occasionally, and then kill him after.
You should put a poll up. You should put up a poll.
I have no idea. I need to fucking start learning how to put that. So I'll just ask people in the chat: would Vincent have killed Max anyway?
Yeah, would he have killed Max?
What he did.
Yeah, I feel like maybe he wouldn't have if Max had never if the body had never. If the body had never been found. And then none of that happened, and he just went from target to target. I think he would have let him live, but as it stands, the way that it is, with Vincent knowing as much as he knows, I think there's no way he couldn't kill Max.
I know, because he's seen his fucking boss as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So he's seen a lot of what's happening now. He's in a
Max
world
knows
that
a
he
lot.
should have seen.
God, I wish we could play this scene.
I
This
know.
is so great. Audio Slave, Shadow of the Sun plays. This was one of those happy movie accidents, you know, and it's just one of those things where the coyote runs across. And so director Michael Mann was talking about it on the audio commentary, just basically saying this reminded, you know, it was like a little reminder of, you know, the wilderness, just saying, hey, this is a desert.
Yeah, it's a Navajo thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is our land. We're letting you stay here for now, but we're going to be here afterwards. And it's like, you know, both men are in their kind of private thoughts. You know, maybe Vincent a little bit more, because Vincent really, he understands more the severity of the situation. If he doesn't know that the feds are onto him, he probably suspects that they're coming, and he almost for sure knows that the cartel has a hit squad on its way, in case things go south. And they're going into a club pretty similar to the one they were just at. You know, it's you know, Chinese cartel, but still Chinese, you know, triads, tongs, whatever you want to call them, Chinese mafia setting, where he's going to have to go, like, it's going to be a serious bloodbath.
Yeah, because plus the coyote was like it's an old legend that if a coyote crosses your path, turn away. Nothing good can ever come of the journey that you continue.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that one.
I just looked it up on the trivia, and I for a long time I just thought it was like he sees the coyote as himself, like just this lonely creature wandering around this fucking wilderness with no one, just out to kill, and that's it.
Okay, all right. Well, fair enough. Interesting. I did not know.
Yeah, and I just looked it up. So, and yeah, it's a nice little bit of foreshadowing that I've only just found out, and many people probably don't know. And it is a very kind of provocative moment, though. Like, you can't help but sort of like leave you pondering a little bit.
Yeah,
about this guy. So it's a nice little moment to just have a little silence and let this song play, and let you soak in the atmosphere a bit more. Yeah. Oh, we're right ahead again. See if we can get to the club scene on another screenshot. Nope. Yeah, some of these scenes have come across a little bit.
Well, that's all right. But yeah, it's a good introspective moment. It kind of gives you a little release valve on the tension that's coming up, and it's such a great song, Shadow of the Sun. It's been since 2004. It's been in every one of my playlists on every phone I've ever owned. And every time I hear the song, I think of this scene a little bit. So, yeah, I dig it, man. It's a great scene, well directed, well acted. And so now we're at Club Fever, and all of the players are converging on this one spot. You know, it's do or die time now. And
some real good tight shots as well with like nightclubs. Like you can hardly move, and very rare when I see movies shooting in nightclubs. It looks realistic. This does feel very realistic.
Yeah, that's I would not want to have a job in that club. If I had to make a hit in that club, that is, I mean, the chaos would give you some cover, but man, trying to get to it, woo, man, that would be a bitch. It's beyond my skills for sure.
Yeah.
So. Oh, and I forgot. Fanning is one of the entities too. He's got a different mission. His mission is he doesn't even care about catching Vincent or protecting the targets. He wants to protect Max.
Yeah, because he's an innocent bystander who's caught up in this, and he knows he's involved for some reason, but he wants to find out why. He knows this guy probably is not a killer.
Yeah,
and because he's been a copper for so long, actually doing his job, probably way too many hours a day, and he probably has a sixth sense on who's fucking suspicious and who isn't.
He's got good instincts, definitely.
Yeah,
and we got Vincent is laser focused now on the target. All of this din and madness means nothing to him. You can see it's fucking up the two cartel sicarios that are trying to track him, and it's playing havoc on the feds as well. But Vincent is laser focused. He easily figures out that there's not only other players in the room, but he susses out it's called static security, where you have a phalanx of guards that are positioned in such a way that they could be moved like chess pieces to keep the target secure. Or the principal, the target for Vincent, the principal for the security guys. So he figures out pretty easily like which one is which. They give themselves away with the fact that they've got semi-automatic weapons and earpieces in their ear.
Yeah. Yeah. Saw Soundgarden laugh 3 times. Yeah, rest in peace, Chris Cornell. Fucking hell. But he's because he's obviously a guy who knows how to keep his focus even when shit goes haywire. Because when I listen to those old SAS, like when you get rattled, you just gotta try and take a deep breath and stay focused.
Yep.
Otherwise, you're gonna lose. Otherwise, things are just gonna go wrong.
Yep.
And I like how he fucking takes these people down because these are obviously like real tactics as well. Like he fucking grabs this guy and I think he fucking breaks his neck. It's like Jesus Christ, man. He's a beast. He does not stop.
Yeah, I love that drops the one guy's knee, takes him out of the play right here. I'm like, bam.
Yeah,
Boom.
and apparently that's a real technique as well that can be done if you with the right training. And let's see if we can get to it.
It's a club scene from a movie called Collateral with Tom Cruise. Now, listen, regardless of what you think of Tom Cruise, he's a hell of an actor. And whoever instructed him on the fight scenes in here did a hell of a job. There's some really, really good injury data, very realistic stuff. There's a knee break that you're going to see in this. It's a side knee break. He takes out one of the security guys. He looks over. He just recognizes. He doesn't know it's a threat. And then I know it's hard to see, but look where he steps. Look how close he is to the knee. And look at the follow through. Now you could even be closer there, but that is an excellent rendition of how to take out a knee from the side. It's the base 5 strike.
Base 5 strike, Len.
Love it. I love it.
Yeah, anytime these fucking people come on and say, nope, this person got it fucking right, I'm instantly hooked.
Yeah.
Because you want to believe it as well. It's like, even if you kind of going a little surreal or just doing a little adapting a bit of a movie logic to it, you still want to put something believable in to make it more watchable.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's like even with all his tight crowd, he still manages to get by him pretty quickly. It's like he knows how to evade everyone while everyone else is struggling.
Yeah, he's slicing through them. It's amazing to see. And so the Feds make a really bad tactical error. They should have gotten one of their Asian guys to come in because, this guy feels safe because he's in an all-Asian club. I don't know if it's Korean or Chinese or whatever. It doesn't really matter. He's surrounded by his people, and then he sees a bunch of white guys coming in with guns. And so his security team, maybe not even speaking English, or maybe not English as a first language, certainly. And they come in, guns drawn, and the security team automatically assumes it's a threat. So
yeah. And plus I think it's because they're also seeing Max coming up pretty close as well, and obviously because they still think he's Vincent, and it's like okay, and they've been standing close to the witness as well, because he's going to come to this. He's going to come to his target, so best be where the target is, so he can take down who's about to take him out. And of course, it leads to a fucking shootout. He gets like wounded in the leg, and everyone's just going crazy now because no matter how loud the music is in the club, you fire a shot off, everyone's going to fucking hear it. That's how loud guns are.
That is true.
Yeah. And I've recognised this actor a couple of times. He's played a lot of these like cartel heavies a lot, hasn't he? I think he's been in.
Believe so. Yes, I believe he has.
Yeah, I think he's in Harsh Times as well with Christian Bale.
Okay.
I think I think he gets like stabbed in the throat at one of the clubs.
Okay.
Yeah, once the FBI's going for some of the, I can't remember if it's the FBI agent or one of the security guys that's about to kill Max.
It's some of the cartel sicarios. They've got laser sights. FBI doesn't.
Sicario, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, they're not using laser sight. That's what the scene in the in the car was for earlier, where you see the sicario is he's testing out his laser sight so that we know who's doing what during this kind of chaotic scene.
Yeah, no, because I think even because he's in a club as well, so I think he wants to know he's actually got he's not going to hit anyone else, even though he's a cartel, it probably doesn't fucking matter to him.
No.
He's still getting their target.
Yeah. Yes, Gord King, that's true. Ready, Steady, Go. But
Yeah.
this is an Asian version of Ready, Steady, Go. So they're actually singing it in Korean or some kind of Asian Oriental talk, which is, basically all the same. But yeah, it's not the Americanized version of it or British version, whatever. It's so if you listen closely, you can hear they're speaking in Jap talk.
Yeah, it's a fucking good track that as well. I mean, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, it's on my playlist. I play when I'm at the gym. So
yeah, he might have let Max off if he was never wise to his action, but once he was, he never had a chance. Yeah, I agree because if I was a contract killer that was paid to be invisible and not know I was there, I'd have to kill anyone else who saw my face.
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
Yeah, and Vincent fucking saves him because he needs the guy as well, and he probably has actually got some respect for him as well.
Also, this is a weird thing. This is more of Vincent unraveling a little bit because he does something because he should have just been like, well, fuck it, kill him. I don't give a fuck. It actually gets him in bad thing because by doing this, he gives away his position. And
I know because he's supposed to be stealth. Doing this stealthily, but now he's getting attention on him now, and even the FBI's probably recognizing who he is now.
Yeah, and this is the point where the Asian security detail swarms him, and you can see on his face. This is the first time you actually see fear or anything. It's like his face. He's actually like he's on the back foot a little bit. He's finally at a disadvantage. And these guys are swarming him, and Vincent definitely overcomes, and he overcomes in amazing style.
Because he's there to adapt as well. He's been doing this for a long time. He's learning how to adapt.
But up to this point,
go ahead.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I like this guy's trying to dual wield his pistols, which I think
that never works. Don't do that. Yeah, don't ever do that. That doesn't work. You're not going to hit anything. Don't dual wield pistols. It's literally never worked in anything outside of the Matrix. Don't do it. Don't do it. It's bad. That's bad shooting. Don't do it. But yeah, Vincent pulls his knife out and takes one of the guys down, hits another guy with an asp, which is a retractable baton, and now we've gone back in the past, and he's just arrived again. He's having Vincent's having a flashback.
Yeah, no, fucking hell. I hate this sometimes. Here we go. Here we go. Back on track now.
That's all right.
So we get this screen on here.
That's all right. That's all right. A little bit of, hey, you got to improv. Shit goes wrong. I Ching. We got to roll with it. Nietzsche.
Here we go.
There we go.
Yeah. He's already killed his target. So look. Yeah.
No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. Yeah. So he gets away from the security detail. He grabs his pistol, the 45 Heckler and Koch, starts taking down the last phalanx of security people. Fanning grabs Max because that's all
he believes him now, doesn't he? Yeah, because he's like, listen, I'm not Vincent. And Max is like, I know, let's get you out of here and try and sort this out. And
that's what Fanning came there to do.
I know. Vincent's kind of like
Yeah, it looks like Vincent's at a disadvantage, but he's really not. He takes out the last grouping of security guys and does his Mozambique. Two in the chest, one in the head, but in mid firing, he runs out of ammo. There's an old tradecraft for pistol shooting, which is you count your rounds. As you're shooting in a gunfight, you count your rounds. If your mag holds 15, you count downwards from 15 when you shoot in a gunfight. And on your last round, when you get down to your last one or two, you reload with one in the chamber. That way, if something happens, you don't have to do a quick reload, which Vincent does do. He fires the gun empty, but then does an amazing reload. And that's Tom Cruise doing that shit in real life. And man, I couldn't do that on my best day, and my best days are far behind me. So that shit is poetry in motion when he does that.
I know, because I think there's only a few actors that's mastered that. We've had Tom Cruise in Terminator, Tom Cruise in Collateral, Robert Patrick in Terminator 2, because he really did reload that pistol fast.
Oh, sure.
And Val Kilmer in Heat. It's
I think Keanu's at that level as well.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Keanu Reeves in the John Wick movies. Yeah, definitely. 100% agree. And obviously, they try and get out of the club, and Fanning is fucking killed. And
Bye,
then,
Mark Ruffalo. It's been real, buddy.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And yeah, obviously Max is really pissed off now because he's had a guy who's actually a good guy and has tried to help him, and Vincent's just fucking murdered him. He has
murdered the shit out of him.
Yeah, and this bit here actually fucking happened by accident. He just hits that fucking car. It's yeah, and I think it nearly caused an accident, but Tom Cruise was just laughing about it. Really,
yeah. There's a funny story about how after he did that, and they pulled him over, and he's like,
yeah,
I thought I was a pretty big star, but all the
went to Tom Cruise, didn't they?
Yeah, are you, Mr. Cruise? Are you okay? They give fuck all. They could give a fuck about Jamie Foxx. Mr. Cruise, you good?
I've got the clip right now of it. Let's play it.
Oh, do you have it?
What else you got for me? Huh?
We're in the car, and we're driving. We're supposed to do this stunt where I crash into another car, right? But it's supposed to be a stunt. But what happens is the car gets out of control, and I actually do crash into the car.
Go drive!
He slammed into these cars, and that's the take we had. I mean, he ripped them, and hard. Tore up a Mercedes, and we got it in one take. I thought he was just going to clip the sides of the thing, but he didn't. I don't know. He didn't really almost kill me.
Tom is laughing in the back, man. We're having a great time. But when I get back, they run right past me. Jamie, are you all right? No, I'm not. Get out of the way so we can get to Tom.
Love it. I love it. Oh man, that's great. I like the fact that Tom thought that was no big deal. And I like the fact that Jamie kind of laughed it off, and this, because I don't think Tom's ever won an Oscar, but Jamie Foxx has.
No, yeah. Has it Jamie Foxx ever won an Oscar? Fucking hell.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx won an Oscar for what you call it? Fuck. What is that movie that where he plays the blind
Ray, whatever. That's it.
Ray, yeah, he won an Oscar for Ray.
Yeah, I like that guy's music.
Tommy's never won an Oscar.
Tom's never won an Oscar. Jesus Christ, he should have won.
I don't think so.
I know you think he'd win an Oscar for one bloody movie. What? Wait, didn't he get something for Jerry Maguire?
I think that was Cuba Gooding Jr. got the Oscar for that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think now. Fucking hell.
I don't believe.
Not Feel Good Man. That was Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. No. Always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Poor Tommy boy.
Yeah, but I think he just cares about fucking entertaining his audiences. Weird fucking Scientology shit aside, it's I kind of respect him for it.
Yeah, for sure. So now we're on our way to the last target, and both of them have become completely unraveled by the night's events. They start really kind of digging at each other.
Yeah, he is. He's like he just calls him out on what a fucking unfeeling psychopath he fucking really is, or maybe sociopath. I don't know. And he does try and fucking really get at him as well, really fucking hurt him and call him out on what kind of a guy he is. But Tom Cruise probably recognizes the truth in it, but at the same time, he's not going to let that fly. He's like, oh yeah, well, what about your fucking bullshit? I mean, you're saying you're going to be this fucking big limo driver. You can't even call this girl. You got this dream that you're never going to fucking do because you're too much of a fucking pussy to do it. And you can really tell it fucking kills him as well. It's like you can see he's like, yeah, Vincent's right. And it makes him have this fucking breakdown as well. He's like, you know what? I'm not gonna achieve my dreams. My life is gonna be full of nothing but regrets. So fuck it. Why not take the high road out?
Yeah. Because what does it matter anyway?
Yeah. Yeah, I know that. And even fucking Vincent starts to unravel a bit more. He really fucking panics here. He's like, he points the gun at him and tells him to slow down. And Max is like, yeah, fuck you. Just crashes the car.
Great crash.
It's a great crash. It's a great scene, very powerful moment as well, and you really do see Max just really take charge here for once, because he's kind of been letting Vincent lead him up, drag him along this this whole charade. And so Vince is like, obviously, he's like, Max is not going to do his bidding no more, so fuck it, I'm going to cut him loose and get the fuck out of here. He probably would have killed him if that cop hadn't showed up.
I like how this LA cop is just randomly a fucking, but he's got a Boston accent for some weird reason. Oh my God, you got in a car. Sir, you got in a car wreck over here. Don't worry. You've been in an accident. You're fucking wicked banged up. Oh, don't worry. They'll get you a new cab. You're doing just fine.
Yeah, probably got transferred. I don't know. Of some bullshit.
Yeah. That's
but he spots the cops in the car.
He was the cop. He was the cop in the town that witnessed the bank robbery and didn't do nothing, so they sent him out to LA.
Yeah. yeah. Make it happen, Hollywood. Make it happen. And he sees the fucking dead body in the car, and he assumes that Max. Obviously, he assumes that Max is the guy who killed him. So yeah, tries to fucking arrest him. But now Max sees the backup data, and he sees that it's fucking Jada Pinkett, who he was hoping to bum Puglies with. So yeah, so now he just fucking takes this copper down and cuffs him and steals his gun.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
and he even uses one of he didn't see it coming. He even he uses one of Vincent's lines. He says, he's like, "When did this become a negotiation?" And he's got Vincent's gun. So awesome. Now he's not going to go on a hero mission.
Yeah, and I was like, "You're not going to tell my boss about this, are you? I'm going to be so grounded. It's going to be embarrassment. All the other officers are going to be mean to me." And yeah, obviously he's got to chase. He's got to get there quick now because quick as he can. And he robs this guy's phone, and the guy's like, "Hey!" He just points the gun. The guy shits himself, and like, it always makes me laugh.
And of course, early 2000s flip phones. Bad service.
Yeah, so he has to get to a fucking rooftop to get a good signal, and and you're wondering how has Tom Cruise got that fucking pass, and you find out later he's obviously killed the fucking security guard, and here she is working overnight, like, because the case is probably on a bit of a tight schedule, so she's trying to get as much as she can before the trial happens.
Mm-hmm. So a lot has been said over the years of how is it just this wild coincidence that this chick that Jamie Foxx had a moment with in his cab, it just happens to be, well, she didn't just happen to be. The building earlier when you said, what was Tom Cruise doing in that one building? What was he messing around?
Yeah.
That was her building. He was following her, wanted to see where that she would go. And his intention was to do what's called a roundabout. And he made sure she was in the location he knew that she was going to go to, which would be stationary, go kill the other targets and kill her last because she is the softest of the targets. She's not a fucking ex-military jazz singer. She's not a cartel low-level bag man. She's not a crooked lawyer with private security. She's just a woman alone in a law office at the DA's office. So that was his intention, was to loop-de-loop and come around. And then
so get the hard things out of the way first, and then settle the easy last.
Exactly. So that is why, and because Jamie Foxx's character was just lingering after he dropped her off, he just happened to be there. Tom Cruise was Vincent was happy to walk to the other cab, and Jamie Foxx looks up and sees him, and this just says, "Hey, jump in my cab," and that's how we get to that. So it's not some wild ass plot contrivance. Now I will give the fact that them being in the same elevator at the hospital with Detective Fanning, Mark Ruffalo, was a little bit too much, so fucking Gord King. Oh Jesus, yeah. No, I hope that. So that's basically it. So now we're back at the beginning again, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. And he's calling for help, obviously, because it's a 2000 fucking flip phone. It's shit, and he's not only got bad service, but the battery's fucking low as well. And she's not in her office though. She's like a couple of floors down for some reason. Is she?
She's
does she
in
want to
the
get out of that
she's in the
office?
yeah, she's in the law library. Like I work in a law
yeah.
office.
She's doing more research, isn't she?
Right.
So
So
it's
like
easier just staying there and instead of just taking it all up to her office.
Right. Like in my office, right, I could walk a couple offices down, and we have a law library where we have like meetings and stuff, or and they have a bunch of law books in there.
Yes, yeah. So that's kind of answered the little question that I had as well. But also, I like the fact that she actually has put this picture by her computer as well. So she obviously has been thinking about him, and she obviously did enjoy talking with him, and and she has taken his advice as well, and it probably is helping her. Probably has helped her with the case a little bit. And he's looking around to see if he might see a trace of where she could be, because he knows she's obviously going to be in the building, and Max has obviously warned her about it because she was a little bit surprised how we fucking knew about the case, but as soon as he told her that a hitman's about to kill her, she snapped out of it and says, all right, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. But now even Max sees that he's in the building, he's in her office, and he knows that Max, and he can tell from Max's body language, he can tell from Vincent's body language that he knows where she is because he's looking up right now.
Yeah. I do believe the bad signal thing. I don't believe that it would have been out of a battery, because I have one of those old Nokia flip phones, and I don't think I've touched it since 2004. It's in my closet, and I bet it's still got a charge on it right now. So, Nick's taking the piss.
But thanks for following me on Twitter, by the way. Yeah, I'll message you sometime. Do you have your own channel? If you don't, let me know, and I'll get you on the stream one day. Yeah, he's cutting the power out now because he wants to make sure she make it hard for her to fucking find her way out. And he's probably worked in the dark a lot, so he's probably adapted his sight maybe a little bit to at least tolerate it enough. That's what I'm guessing.
Well, that and the fact that in the beginning of the movie, after he got off the flight, he reconned the building.
Yeah.
So he
obviously has memorized the layout a little bit more, and he knows it off by heart because he's probably got one of those minds where he just knows everything straight away after learning it.
Yep.
Like a eidetic memory, photogenic, something like that.
Yeah, eidetic is no, not photographic. Eidetic, you were right the first time.
All right. Yeah, post-security guy. Yeah, because innocent people are fucking died in this. It's not just his targets. It's just guys just doing their jobs.
Yeah. So this I told this at the Tom Cruise stream, but this is the part where this was the only movie I saw while my wife was in boot camp, and I took my daughter running errands with me, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try to watch a movie while she's taking a nap. And God bless her, she sat in her stroller and slept through almost the whole thing until the very end. I hadn't realized that she woke up. She was still, she was like a little less than 2 years old, and she wakes up when Tom Cruise cuts the power, and she goes, uh-oh, like that, and the whole audience started laughing. That's Cassidy.
2 years old, and she realizes shit's about to go tits up.
Well, she's the princess of toxicity, so she knows. She knew what was up.
Yeah, and I love how he just covers his face up with a hoodie before he shoots the glass, because that's going to be fucking splashing back on him, and probably will cut him if he's not careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he obviously he comes across as someone who has never handled a gun before, and I love that. It just makes him feel more real. And obviously he's hurrying up, and he's caught her now. He's caught her. It looks like game over for her.
Mm-hmm.
And then Max comes up, and Vincent really fucking underestimates him. He's like, what the fuck are you going to do? And he just blows his ear off.
Yeah.
Boom. Nice little squib blast there. And obviously he's faced him now because someone he thought was someone he thought he could walk all over is actually really fucking taking him down here a little bit.
Mm-hmm. It's
kind of humbled him a bit more as well and pissed him off.
Yeah.
And I like this little bit here where he throws the chair through the glass plating and he trips over it. That was an actual accident that happened, but Michael Mann kept it in anyway.
Love it.
I love that. It is very funny. So it does kind of like just how he's kind of losing his edge a little bit now. Is making mistakes. He's had this fucking novice cabbie fucking actually take him down a peg or two, and not only that, he's been caught bringing more attention than he used to do back in his better days.
Yeah, he's become unraveled. He kind of did it to himself. You know, he got too personally involved with a couple things, including with Max, and he chose to get Max out of his shell a little bit and make some choices. And now, you know, he's kind of created a monster, and Max is kind of doing what? He's freestyling. He's vibing. He's doing he's playing jazz. He's improvising, you know, and it's costing Tom a lot. You know, Tom's probably got a fucking concussion from the car flipping over. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt.
I'll do that. I mean, fucking hell. I mean,
yeah,
it can be as tough. I don't care how fucking tough you are or headstrong you are. You know, you get into a car accident, get a concussion. It's just a simple blow to the head will fuck you up.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm surprised half these fucking MMA fighters and boxers are still alive. It's
yeah.
It's like no wonder some of them retire before the mid-30s because and it's a pretty fucking intense chase scene as well. I mean, because this is the film has been a little bit more slower, hasn't it? But this is where it really gets more intense and more fast paced as well. It's like a big chase scene.
It ramps back up here, yeah, for sure.
Sure. Like the fact that he's trying to fucking he's basically making a random choice and hoping he gets the correct one.
Mm-hmm.
Because he does, he makes the correct guess as well, and he gets on the fucking M track and that fucking jump, man. He's like a fucking robot by then. Doesn't.
Yeah. So now we've got a situation where Max has Vincent's Heckler and Koch 45, and Vincent took a Smith & Wesson 9 off of the guard that he killed. And the interesting thing is, as professional as he is, we've got Vincent with no ammo. He's got 45 ammo for a 9mm handgun, and you know, Max doesn't have it. The ammo for the 45 that he's got is on Vincent. So both of them, it's like it's all or nothing time. You know, so
because later he does try to reload. Unsuccessfully, of course,
because he realizes he's got 45 ammo for a 9mm weapon.
Yeah, I thought it was because the gun wound might have caused something in his hand to sort of paralyze it a little bit to prevent him from reloading anyways. But
nope. No, it's because he realizes in that moment he doesn't have the right ammo for the weapon.
Yeah. And yeah, this comes to a bit a lot of people have complained about, and I never did though. I never really noticed that until someone mentioned it in the Enzo stream. And
so now,
yeah.
So now we've got Vincent, who is being a slave to his training and his technique and trying to do the Mozambique, 2 in the chest, 1 in the head. Unfortunately, in doing so, with the lights going in and out and not having a clear shot and the double plate that's on the train's door right there, he's trying to shoot in a pattern that's not going to work for his target who's behind that double door.
Yeah,
as opposed to
even if the light's wet going out, he's got something obstructing his line of sight as well, isn't he?
Right. Plus, he's using a 9mm, which is a weaker bullet. Now you've got, you know, I don't mean to gun porn, you know, like shoot, military boy overdo it here, but it does work. It does work if you understand it. And it's the 9mm are not going to punch a hole through that safety glass and through that metal. And it's not going to go in the direction he wants because quite frankly, Max is not standing there, but he may look like he is because he's through a double door and the lights are going in and out. Now juxtapose that to Max. Max is basically closing his eyes and spraying and praying with a 45, which will punch through the metal, which will go through that safety glass and will hit Vincent in a couple crucial spots. And then of course, at the end of it, when the lights come back on, Vincent goes to do what he does best, go to do his quick reload trick, but it doesn't work because he drops the mag on the 9mm, reaches for his magazine pouch, which is there, but the magazine pouch is filled with what? ammo for his 45, which is in Max's hands. Not going to do him any good right there. And he realizes that's it. Game over.
Yeah, no, and it's not even like a triumphant moment. It's like Heat, where the criminal is taken down, but there's this very sorrowful tone at the end as well, and he realizes this is his last fucking stop now.
Yeah.
And I love the look on Max's face as well. It's just like he's in pure fucking shock, but at the same time, he's like,
yeah.
He almost looks a little sad that he's had to kill this guy as well. He doesn't look happy.
No, he doesn't. And I think in Vincent, I don't know how bad his eyesight's getting as he's bleeding out here, but you can see the slide is locked back on the 45. So he's spent all of his ammo. And that's it. So there's nothing else to be done. That's it. It's game over.
Yeah, I like what Max says. We're almost at the last stop, and then it comes right back to the beginning where he talks about the guy dying on the M track, and he's like, "Do you think anyone will notice?"
Yeah, you see, it's all. If you look behind Max, you can see it's all lights and trees and the hope for a future. But if you look behind Vincent, it's all darkness and barren.
Oh man, yeah, because there's something else that comes up right at the last moment of this film, which I thought was very similar as well. But I'll get to that soon. But yeah, it seems more tragic like his dad, even though he's kind of a bad person. I don't. It always makes me feel a little bit melancholy, and you can tell he's a little upset because in the fucked up ways, he was kind of his best friend for like one night, because he kind of really did.
Yeah.
He was like the only person to really fucking truly understand him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for
in a strange way. Yeah, because he understood that he was a guy who wasn't taking enough risks and trying to achieve whatever ambitions he had, whatever goals he had planned.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%.
And fucking hell, I miss it when films were these kind of layers.
So now we've got Vincent and is it
Jada
Edie?
Yeah. And daylight's coming as well, because it's
daylight's coming. It's a new dawn, and
the darkest before the dawn. It was a very, very dark night he'd been through, but now the dawn's coming. And who knows?
And meanwhile, Vincent is left dead to just travel on the MTA and see how long it takes for someone to realize it.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird as well because he's actually had someone who's be with him while he died.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Could we get some kind of comfort in that? I don't know. Even though he's a kind of a bad person, it's like you never really hate this character, even though he is not a nice guy.
No, I've known lots of guys like him in my life, quite a few.
So. Yeah, I mean, obviously this guy would never have a normal life. I mean, I don't know if he ever did try to have a normal life, but then thought, fuck it, all I'm good is at killing. I'll just look for jobs that need people like me. Because it does happen sometimes. It happens a lot, really, doesn't it?
I mean, as far as I know, that's how it happens. It's not like you're going to go join the military and go shoot people because you've had a fucking happy childhood.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because I respect my fucking veterans, but there is that truth as well that a lot of them do join the army so they can get away with killing. And I know. Yeah.
Yes. Agree.
Yeah. But that said, I mean, I'm not against my veterans. I support them because fucking hell, they're doing a lot of the jobs I wouldn't have the fucking balls to do. And yet, Sis is still a fucking great. I mean, it's 20 years, man, and it's not dated one bit.
No.
You feel it. And everything feels fucking real. I mean, the digital photography works well when it's night. It actually gives it that very documentary style sort of look. You don't feel you're watching a movie. You feel like you're watching two people are caught in this very dangerous situation. And I don't know what it is about the way he shoots it. It's almost dreamlike as well.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll do a re-release this summer for the 20th anniversary.
I hope they do. Fucking Hull needs to start building cinemas that do these re-releases after time.
Well, it's always my best time of the, I can't, I can never keep up with Blue Collar. I don't have that unlimited Regal app, but I find myself going to the cinema a lot. And when I do find myself going, I find that the best times that I usually have, not always, but usually, is when I'm watching a re-released anniversary movie. Going back and seeing Groundhog Day, Chinatown, Godfather 2, like that. Watching these movies that I've seen again and again and again, but seeing them in the theater, it does something for me. Silence of the Lambs, even. I took my son to see. He had never seen it. I took him to see Silence of the Lambs last year when they did a re-release on that. So I always have a good time with that. It's never anything that fails me. I wouldn't want it to be in the cinema all the time playing, but on these anniversary things when I get to go see it, it's definitely something. So if they do it, and I have a feeling they might, because it is the 20th anniversary this summer. I would definitely like to go do that.
Yeah, fucking hell. I need to. I want to try and look see if there's any more. Once I start driving a bit more, I might be able to take my wife to see some re-releases and see some great films on the big screen. Even ones that I've not seen yet. Because I'm more keen on seeing older movies I've not seen, and I'm always and I'm never let down when I do.
Yeah, this movie is to me, it's flawless, and it stays in my top 20. It's never left the top 20.
I know even when I was reviewing, I was really struggling to find flaws because I thought, I can't review this unless I find a flaw because I've got to be. I don't believe there's a perfect movie, but there's films that are almost flawless. And Goodfellas is definitely another one that I consider almost flawless. And Heat and
Agreed.
Yeah,
agreed. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
And when you see Tom Cruise playing more villains, he's so fucking good when he unleashes that dark side to him.
Maybe he was a little too good. Maybe he looked at it and was like, "Damn, I'm a little too good at this." And but I'd like to see something where he's, like an aging assassin, maybe training up something like The Mechanic reboot. That's not a Jason Statham actioner.
Yeah, like be a little bit more tonally in line with the Charles Bronson original, maybe.
Have you seen that?
I've seen the original once, yeah, and it was pretty fucking good. I think I do like it better than
the
remake.
It's so much better. Oh, it's so much better.
Yeah,
So
Michael Winner does some really good fucking dark atmospheric thrillers. He really does.
Yeah. But yeah, man, great film, great Michael Mann, great David Mamet dialogue, great visuals. Great memories of seeing this. Fuck me, I can't believe it's been 20 fucking years. That's so crazy.
I was still in fucking high school when this came out, and I remember seeing clips of Tom Cruise in that grey wig, and I was like, he's playing a hitman. I was like, oh, yeah, I'm interested. I like my fucking gangster movies and all that.
Well, I'll tell you, when I saw the preview for this, from when I went to go see the Second Born movie, they had a preview for this, and I was like, what is this crazy shit? What is happening here? What am I looking at? And they picked a terrible song, and they picked the Man in the Box by, I think, like it was Alice in Chains, Man in the Box. They picked that for the trailer song, and I was like, what is this? What am I looking at here? And I was like, I'm not interested.
Fucking hell. I remember Batman Begins when they showed the trailers. They had a fucking Nickelback song in there. I think it was Nickelback anyway, but it sounded.
Did they really?
Like, what the hell? Yeah.
Like someday, I didn't know that.
Yeah, watch the trailers. It's really out of place with the actual film when you see it.
Do you think it's still the same?
I don't know, but it definitely reeks of 2000s rock and roll pop crap anyway.
Yeah, but
it wasn't. Yeah, I was looking this up as well. The original script was by a guy called Stuart Beattie, and because he was a real cab driver in real life. I know Michael Mann was as well, and so was his dad.
Okay.
But Stuart Beattie actually came up with the idea because he had this one customer, and he started to thinking, what if this customer was a fucking hitman? Something like, and he had the script written. It was only just a short script that he had written, and occasionally he would put it away and take it out again, and bring it out and take it out again to do little rewrites. And Michael Mann was so impressed by how we took a small premise that could be potentially a story, and that's how we got the film here.
Okay. Interesting. I'm glad for that little tidbit of knowledge. That's the thing. When you do this stuff with other YouTubers, no matter how much knowledge you think you have on something, someone's going to have another piece of the puzzle, and that's the great thing about cinema or
Yeah,
TV.
that's why I like getting all those great guests on who are probably fucking smarter than I am, because I get to learn something from them, and I like that.
Yeah. No, great time. Thank you so much for having me on for this, man. I really glad we got to finally scratch this itch. I know it's been a long time coming. We were talking about it for a while, and you got to do your other video on it, and I was like, yeah, man, I could talk about this movie. As Enzo likes to say, I could talk about this movie for probably 10 hours, but I think we did it pretty good in 2, and I had a good time, man. It was good to revisit it. It's good to revisit it with a friend and get all that stuff out there, and dispel some of the old myths about it, about some of the plot contrivances being too plot contrivey. See early Anton Chigurh and stuff like that. So yeah, man, good times. I'm here for it.
I know. Because it's weird, because when I first saw him on No Country for Old Men, I never clocked it for once. It was the fucking cartel leader in the in Collateral. I was like, Jesus. Then I watched Collateral sometime later, for the first time in a long while, and I'm like, oh shit, is that Javier Bardem? How the fuck did I not notice that?
Yeah, he's good. He's great in
man.
He's great in the new Dune movie. He's
I'm gonna have to do No Country for Old Men, because I fucking love that movie.
I fucking love it as well, and I love the book. So put me in for that one, Coach. I'm 100% with you on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and see if the audiobooks on YouTube. A lot are.
I did my when I got my college degree for American literature. That was my thesis. Was on No Country for Old Men.
Yeah, I'm going to have to read that. What's his name? Kathy McCormick, if I'm getting the name.
Cormac McCarthy.
Cormac McCarthy. That's it. Fucking hell. But yeah, he's done some good books. He did The Road, and I need to check out more of his stuff, man, because I'm trying to read more these days. And
yeah.
Thankfully, YouTube have a shitload of audio books on for free. So
they do. That's a good resource. But I'll tell you what, man. Let me see if I can. I don't know what happened with that last package I tried to send you. Let me try to see if I can get you out another, like an actual legit package, and I'll send you one of my copies, because I have a couple copies of No Country for Old Men. His writing style is so unique, because he doesn't use punctuation or he lets you figure out who's talking. He doesn't have descriptive dialogue. You just have to kind of follow it along and figure it out. He even has characters speaking Spanish and doesn't translate it. So you just have to kind of figure out from their actions what they were talking about. It's really unique. I've never seen anything like it. But once you start reading it, it's really interesting. And it's so.
I hope you got your fucking money back on that delivery as well, because it's not just money.
It's not that big a deal. Trust me, don't worry about it. It was just a couple books and stuff like that. I don't think it was anything serious. But yeah, it's definitely something that like I'm looking at it right now on my bookcase, and I've read it several times trying to envision how he came up with that style, and then the movie is so faithful to it. It's crazy. So it's definitely, and that movie stays in my top 10 for sure.
Yeah, and it's definitely one of the few movies I watched that deserved every fucking Oscar it won as well, because
absolutely,
yeah, it was, that, and probably Lord of the Rings: Return of the King as well at the time, because very rarely when we see movies win a lot of Oscars, we kind of think it's a little overrated. It's kind of a bit up its own ass. No Country for Old Men never comes across like that. It feels genuine. It feels very, very authentic, and it's very no nonsense as well in its approach.
Yeah, I would have liked. Boy, what a great mano a mano it would have been to have Vincent go up against Anton Chigurh. That would have been some crazy shit.
There's a fucking shot on Anton Chigurh. Let's see if I can get it. Collateral Chigurh. Yeah. Let me get it up. All right, give me a second.
Anton Chigurh versus Vincent. Anton Chigurh is definitely one of the scariest movie villains I've ever seen.
He is. I mean, it's very ambiguous, because he never looks like he enjoys killing either. He feels like he has to do it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, the world will be out of balance if he doesn't.
Yeah. When he walks into a room, you know you're in the room with death. You know, he's the personification of death in that film.
I know he kills his own fucking boss because he hired other people to do the job he was hired to do as well.
Yes.
He's like, you
Yes.
should have trusted me to do the job.
Yes.
Overall.
When you have one rule for the one tool for the job, you just use the one tool. You do not use other tools for the job. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, he probably. I think he became a bit of a sex symbol as well because we got women fucking, really fucking going wet for him, and he probably scared the women into fucking having the hots for him.
Listen, man, there's nothing women like better than a guy with a gun. You know, Bill Hader says that he got so much chicks saying he had sex appeal after he started doing that TV show Barry, where he plays a hitman. You know,
yeah, because he's not a conventionally good looking guy, but he has this fucking on screen charm, though, doesn't he?
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I like Bill Hader.
I've gotten laid many, many times when people saw I was a marksmanship instructor. I even had a chick tell me that the whole time I was teaching her how to shoot, like she was fucking soaking her panties wet. She's like, when you were teaching me how to shoot, I was doing so badly, not because you were a bad instructor, because I was so wet. I was like, oh wow, okay, well that's fantastic.
Yeah, women want a bastard they can hang with an erection they can hang their hats on. It's
absolutely, absolutely.
Here it is.
Oh wow.
Buy a bit more, isn't it? That's it. Shit.
So who's the winner in the chat? Who's the winner?
No, you don't fucking. I didn't do fuck all that. I didn't say anything.
No, it didn't tell us nothing. In the chat, who's the winner? Who's walking out? Who's walking out of the building? Is it Anton Chigurh or is it Vincent? Who's walking out of there? There's two guys going to a building. Who's going? So my money's on Anton Chigurh because I just feel like he's just near unstoppable. But I think Vincent would give him a good go. So
yeah, because Anton Chigurh, even when he gets rattled, he somehow manages to get back on track pretty much at ease. While Vincent really did start to unravel a bit during the end.
Yeah, I go for Chigurh. Well, we've got one vote for Vincent. We get if my vote counts, but we've got two votes for Vincent. I'm sorry, one vote for Chigurh, or two if you count mine. What's yours, Northern English Bastard?
Yeah, I think I'll go for Chigurh because he's much more inhumane than Vincent is. Vincent has a bit of a fucking hint of humanity compared to Chigurh.
Yeah.
Chigurh is just like, he's like a fucking human Terminator. He is. He just will not stop.
The tactical versus the psycho. Yeah. So I think it's even. So we got 3 for Chigurh and we got 3 for Vincent. So. You know, maybe make a good question of the day when next time you do question of the day.
Yeah, probably might do. I need to do a question of the day again because I think I need to fucking start getting a little bit more.
Yeah, and then have put your link for this rewatch or your other collateral thing in there. The panel betrays the chat again. Well,
I love Nix. He loves me really.
Yeah.
She goes tactical tool jammer as evidenced by the Mortel scene. Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, we'll probably get more into No Country for Old Men in another stream. So we'll probably we will
revisit this issue in another stream for sure.
Yeah, but in the end, that was Collateral and still a fucking great movie. 20 years later. Thanks for joining me, Toxic. And is there anything you want to promote though before I head out?
Let's I'd like to get more viewership on our Monday night weekly recap on Tales from the Dork Side, really, if we could, and remind everybody that every Monday night or sometimes in the afternoon, if it's English breakfasts, we do Tales from the Dork Side on Stupenzo's channel. It's a weekly recap of all entertainment events, and then we play Jackbox, and then on Tuesday we have our monthly themed movies, and we're still pretty deep into April Fool's month, and I guess on Tuesday we are doing Kingpin. Kingpin, maybe.
Yeah,
Is
I
that
love
right?
that film. I've not watched it in a while, but fucking hell, that film really makes me piss. I piss
Yeah.
myself laughing every time I watch it.
So that's on Blue Collar Losers channel. So if you aren't subscribed to the both of them, please subscribe. I'm in the last phases of editing Slapdash, which is my first novel. I have the other two in the wings, waiting if I can get a 3-book deal, which is usually the standard. So as soon as I get that ready to rock and roll, you will never hear me shut up about it. But that's what's going on. But yeah, I don't really have anything else too much to promote as far as that goes. But I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, so yeah, I'm glad that you're coming through that last bit now, because I have actually read the Slapdash novel, and it is actually really good. It's very
Thank
funny
you. Thank
and
you.
very, very fucking dark and violent. But if you like a little bit of your Lee Charles mixed with Elmore Leonard, that's what you're gonna get.
Ooh,
That's
wow,
what I got
that
from it.
is
That's
high
what I got from it.
praise. Thank
Yeah, so yeah.
wow, that is some stop it. I can't do anything for you. You're all the way in Hull, England. I can't suck your cock from here, man. What are you talking about, buddy? Thank you. That's some high praise, my friend. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
But
and I'll say one more thing. I'll suck your dick a little bit more. It was very easy to fucking read, because I'm a bad reader. Sometimes I read something and my brain doesn't always comprehend the information or get a little confused. But this, I was never confused. I got everything that was fucking happening, every
Well-
situation that was going on. I've never been to Kansas, but I can almost envision Kansas just by what was described in the book, and it never felt overwhelming, and I'm so glad to have read that as well.
Thank you. God,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, so my ego is sufficiently stroked for the afternoon. I might go out and get laid tonight. But yeah, man, thank you. Appreciate that. And I can promise you this, you're going to get a good autographed copy for all the hard work, because people don't know this, but Luke Long, my friend here, has he not only read it, but he gave me some ideas to edit it and fix some things that the girl that I hired to type it out for me didn't catch. So and I really appreciated that. So you'll definitely get something. And hey, if it comes to it, man, you know what, you're probably going to get a little kickback for that. So I know you didn't do it for that reason, but trust me, I take care of my friends, and so I appreciate it. But thanks, man. That's high praise. I do appreciate it.
Yeah, good. Something to hang on, something to put on my CV as well, in case I need to look for other
Yeah.
ventures of work one day.
Book
hopefully.
editor, Luke Longley. Right
Yeah.
next to your AVN porn award that you got. So
Yeah, I need to get something more legit for that, because because when I mentioned my fucking porn award, for some reason the employers get a little bit
do they?
a little bit fucking fidgety for some reason. I don't know why.
Well, that's that. Sex positivity is a good thing. But yeah, man, thanks again for the kind words. Thank you for having me on to talk about this great film. And
Always a pleasure,
I'll let you do your outro.
Yes, and whether you are Northern, English or not, thanks for watching. And right now, that's me done, and I'm off to the pub to get pissed. Enjoy.